apparently. They out here hitting. I mean, we put up 3 last drive, too. I set last drive out. We got roughing the passer. The chains have been moved. I mean, look, the coverage is beautiful. Oh, did he fumble? I thought he fumbled. I thought the ball came loose. But he is into the end zone, and we are going up 2 scores in Ohio, on Ohio. All right, they might call him short. They called him short. They called him short. Now, look, we got 9 play switches. First call was the best call, apparently. 1st and goal. He handed off. Touchdown. Now we're going up 2 scores. You know Ohio State wasn't going to stay down for too long. They strike back with a touchdown. We have 4 carries for 5 yards, by the way, and a touchdown. The touchdown makes everything look a little better. Oh, he's going down. That play was sniffed out immediately. All right, so here we go, 2nd and 15. Oh, nah. Hey, it could change just that quick. It can change just that quick. Denzel Burke with the pick 6. 4 minutes and some change in the 2nd quarter. We're still early in the game. I mean, he threw another one. I mean, okay. Now this is, I'm gonna be honest, he is just moving. Now this is more so what I expected. I'm gonna be completely honest with you.
Come on,
like I said, we're on Heisman. I'm not switching it up no matter who we playing. I mean, I got the touchdown, so that feels good. All right, I got the touchdown, so that feels good. I'm gonna be honest. I shouldn't even let them run this play again. It didn't work the first time. I don't think it's gonna work again. All right, coach, you gotta just give it up. He broke a tackle, but I mean, okay, that's a little solid gain of 5. I'll take that. Yeah, I see Marshall playbook. I mean, apparently they love these jet sweep type plays. You got 3rd and 2, and it is sniffed out immediately, coach. It ain't working, coach. We are going nowhere fast. It is 28-10. Remember, we were up 10 zip. It's funny because it's kind of how like you see some college games going where you're like, oh, these boys finna get upset, and then out of nowhere, damn, can we get a block though? But then out of nowhere, you look back again and you're like, oh, okay, now that's more like it. Yeah, man, no blocking.
Oh, you can? I can hear. I hear.
We out here in the 2nd hardest stadium to play. Did you see this man get tossed? Threw him out the club, get in the gym. I'm about to bash the O-line publicly. Just how Travis Hunter did the other day. Man, look. I think that's incomplete. Now it's 4th and inches. Oh, coach is a coward. It's 35-10, baby. What's worse? They score on us again? But I am very valuable lesson here. Can you get those blocks? You got the blocks. Get off me. Then, you know, we get lucky. You know what I'm saying? He'll pass it quick enough. Oh, they did not go for it.
Nah, you know that video? It was that video you was watching. These shits in the group chat.
Bro hit me in the back of the head with the football, but I mean, is coach gonna let us go? Oh, it's a fumble. I was about to say, I mean, we're obviously getting stopped short, but can we go for it, coach? We won't even have the opportunity. Burke has been having.
There you go, the man, the legend.
Recovery, got the pick 6 early. Oh my. Okay, we got. Oh, okay, here we go.
Got Georgia chat. Oh, damn.
Did they send us out? Hey, you know what? That is so respectful, coach. I'm not gonna lie. Stop the beat down. I appreciate that, coach. It means you really care about us. That game, 52-20 was the final score. And you know, after that ass whooping, I will catch y'all boys next time. Hopefully, we ain't got nobody like that for a minute.
For a little savings, Specialist Miller buys in bulk. For a lot of savings, she bundles her home and auto insurance with USAA. Putting more money back in her pocket? That's what we're made for. Call for a quote.
The fuck you running? Pick! Oh, come on, man! Hey, what pick it?
And you realize bloating and discomfort don't have to be routine.
No, don't do it, man. Changes. Come on, man. He's too young in the game right now. He's too young in the game.
6 functional mushrooms that heal your gut, improve digestion,
and boost immunity.
A better routine starts here.
Look, man. That nigga's. You nappy ass nigga.
I'm deciding which college I want to start my career at for my first college football 25 road to glory, and I started it on a Texas high school mod a few weeks back, getting up to a 3-star recruit with a load of offers. Now it's time to figure out what school I'll be playing quarterback for, and I think I'm going to select the improviser archetype because I want to be able to both run the ball and throw it. I'll be playing through my entire freshman season in this video, and this might be the worstly kept up facial hair in the game, but I have no choice because it's the most similar to mine. Eventually, I'd customize everything the way I wanted it to, so I think I'm ready to start. And I have been given some mental abilities like fan favorite, road dog, and clear-headed that I think I'm able to upgrade. This is what the final build's looking like. As a 3-star, we're only a 67 overall. And how I answer these next questions will determine which schools want me. Donna Harper's a local reporter, and she's just asking which of these 4 things I think is most important. It's either getting on the field early or finding a program that's going to develop me. But I think I have to stick with getting on the field early. I want to play in this video. So becoming the starter is the first goal I have in this career, but I also want to make it to the NFL, so I think it's important to note that too. Lastly, we have this decision, and a prestigious head coach can leave you at any time, so I'm going to go with new athletic facilities, and that's given me some options. I don't want to be a starter at Kennesaw State. Everyone's using them. Bowling Green wants me as a second stringer, and so do some of these other schools like Memphis, but there's an 89 overall in front of me, and that's going to make it almost impossible to become the starter until my sophomore season. With that in mind, I started looking at programs that I'd start on the bench at, and I think Buffalo's what I'm going to choose. They have a 72 overall quarterback as their best one, so if I go here to 67, maybe I can get on the field as a freshman. And looking back, I should have customized that face more because that does not look like me. Before I upgrade my player, the first thing that I want to point out is how cool this screen looks, and here we have a close-up shot of my profile. Now, with my ratings, we're going to have certain stats that are going to be better than others, and liking accuracy so far. But the throw power is only 85. It costs 9 skill points to upgrade that. We have 3 at the moment, and I think I'm going to increase my IQ. And then since these are also so expensive, I'm going to go back up to accuracy and bump this up as well. That takes us to a 70 overall right off the jump, and just looking through some of these mentors, we're going to have increased the page on the road if we can get to 10,000 followers. And then I also need skill points to upgrade some of these physical abilities, so I must keep that in mind. Back to getting the followers though, it looks like right now I only have 100, and my offensive coordinator's already blown up my phone, but I'm just going to be confident to him because I want to become the starter. Because I upgraded myself a lot, it's not going to take that much coach trust to become the backup. I need 1,000, and then to become the starter I need 3,400. So we're going to be working towards that. We also have our weekly agenda. This is the follower screen. I don't think I'm going to spend much time in this one, but the training one I probably will, because every time we fill up this bar completely, I'm going to get another skill point. Every time I do that though, it takes a hit to my health, and I'm already losing negative 7 speed on my left leg. That is insane. Then there's this leadership tag. I feel like there's so much going on at the moment, but with 4 energy left, I should probably upgrade this once, and I should also focus on my academics a little bit. The final 2 energy points in the week could go to fixing my health, but I am going to put it towards clueless again. I want to make sure that I am smart because there are tests in this road to glory, and it's a bye week, but we still have practice, so this is my chance to prove that I should be playing over both Jack Shields and CJ Ogba. It looks like we have 8 different practice options to choose between on these 2 screens, so that's exciting. The first one I went with was pocket presence. I have to position my quarterback to dodge projectiles while destroying as many targets as possible, and we'll just see how it all plays out. I'm starting right now. We're going to hit that one, and I can't leave the pocket. I'm pretty sure that was not supposed to hit me. Okay, this is a very, very bad start. I feel like I should be able to bounce back from it, though. I'm moving around pretty quickly in the pocket. That was a clean hit, and these balls, now that I know that they're coming, aren't that hard to dodge. I just hit another target, but it's still taken me a second to get used to all of these controls and making sure my passes go high enough, so I'm only at a bronze right now, and I don't think I'm going to be able to finish with anything better than that. 7,000 points isn't bad, but I need to earn a lot more coach trust, and it's 1,000 to be exact, just so we can challenge Jack Shields for that backup spot. The starter is hitting me up though. He's saying if I have any questions to ask him. He tends to oversleep his alarm. Can you make sure I wake up tomorrow for practice?
I'm a rusty old boat hitch, and I am barely hanging on. See ya. Ahoy! Forget Allstate.
With MetroFlex, I get a free 5G phone when I join.
And I can get the same great deals as new customers when I stay.
And I think I want to make sure that the starter does it. This is such a terrible thing to do, but I'm going to sabotage QB1's alarm to make him late. And this popped up, meaning that he overslept.
Hey, Cody, you watch this shit? Hey, Cody, you watch this shit?
For being a horrible human. And every single week, this energy is going to come up, but I'm not sure.
Touchdown! One way, nigga! Travis! Touchdown!
But the one I have been ignoring
is
I don't really care for the boost in here, but I might as well spend a couple every so often. And it looks like it's time for our first
You press Travis?
East. I think this is supposed to replicate one of Not the Experts Dynasty series, but apparently we have to complete our practice before we hop into it. So let's go with Scramble Survive. I wanted to be a scrambling quarterback, and all I have to do is escape the pocket and make a throw before it becomes a penalty.
Oh my God, Mr.
I have all the time in the world beforehand, but I only get 5 reps, so I have to be very careful with these, and I didn't do that right. The one thing that I was supposed to do was immediately escape the pocket. I wanted to get that bonus right there, but I'm about to throw an interception, and this is on Heisman difficulty, so I'm very surprised that that was a drop, but I'm going to use the user playmaker, and we get a touchdown. Even with that happening, though, this was a terrible showing, and we're just going to act like this practice never happened. I'm ready to see how good my team really is, and I probably didn't put it in the intro, but these are the settings I'm going with, including the hardest difficulty. I want this to be a grind here at Buffalo. I'm probably not going to get out on the field in this game, but eventually I'll play in front of these fans. And just looking at this player intro, I really want to be the guy that's the starter for this team. Half my body's kind of injured, but it doesn't matter when you sit on the bench. And one thing that I am disappointed to is missing from Road to Glory is I'm not able to watch these plays. All I can do is sim over them. So with almost no time left, I know that we're going to get the win over them, even though it was very close. But I wasn't able to see it for myself, and I don't like that. I'm going to celebrate with my team, though, like I did something. Of course, let's go! Player of the game, even though I'm trying to take his starting job. Oh no, he's also starting to hit me up. He says, why the my phone magically turned off? Did you go through my phone and disable it? I think he's caught on to what I did. My leadership has decreased. My teammates respect me even less now. And even coach is saying that I need to be patient. He doesn't know how much I'm going to play this year, but I'm just going to have to be respectful. I can't criticize him yet. A lot of stuff continues to happen though. Now the juniors and seniors want me to drive them around. I'm going to stand up to them. I don't have the time for that. That probably wasn't the right move because my teammates basically hate me at this point. And my academic advisors just let me know that we have mentors both in week 8 and week 15. The texts are not stopping though. Everybody in the world's hitting me up. And Rick Slick's Barbershop thinks they're slick, offering me a promotion where I get free haircuts for my entire position group. I'm declining that deal. I need to save my energy. That's going to make my teammates hate me even more, but I have to be able to train and continue to upgrade my player. But eventually I was going to have to focus on my health too because I was about to get injured. I still have 6 weeks before an exam, but I am going to study, and I guess we got to start getting our leadership back up. But it's going to be a while before I can upgrade anything. I'd like to spend 3 skill points to upgrade my accuracies, but I could get the 2 and then increase my overall a bit. Tough decisions coming up, but at least for now it's practice time. And I'm very curious whether or not they fixed a bug that was in the option attack. On the original build that we played on, you could pretty much score a touchdown every time, even on the hardest difficulty. It made absolutely 0 sense. And it looks like that's the exact same with this one. I mean, they're just not going to catch me. They look like they're running in the mud. That makes this not very enjoyable. Maybe if you want to upgrade your player a lot, you could do it this way, but I would not recommend it. And this is the only time I'm going to be using it in this video. I hope this is something that they fix going forward. I scored a touchdown on literally every single play, and that's going to move up my coach trust a bit more, but our team's about to be unhappy because we have to play at Missouri. I think it's going to be possible for me to start by the end of the season, but at least for now I just get to experience this environment from the bench, and I'm very impressed with the fact that the Bulls only lost by 4. I think by next week, no matter what happens, I'm going to win. And I feel like I've been pretty smart about how I've spent all of my energy so far. I'm building back trust with my teammates, and I'm hoping for another great showing during practice. All I'm supposed to do here is score as many touchdowns as possible, but the issue with that is if the defense is solid out there, I'm not going to. And I can't believe that after restart all the way down here at this part in the field, we don't pick up at like the 50.
Fuck, he picked it off! Oh, he baited me! He baited me!
Was a bit bugged. He baited me, bro. So we can get that down to the 2. And if I just take this drag right here,
he baited me, bro.
This has probably been my best start to any pass skeleton thing yet. But as I'm saying that, I almost turned the ball over, and we have a streaky wide receiver going all the way down to the 1. I should probably learn my teammates' names. Maybe that's why they don't like me. And I wouldn't like me either if I was throwing them into a pass like that. I don't know why I waited so long here. This shouldn't have been a completion. But I didn't want to make a mistake, and number 2 might be my favorite wide receiver because he continues to make amazing plays for us. Now these routes down inside the red zone are not very pretty, but they didn't stick on it again. And how am I only at a bronze? I feel like I've performed pretty well throughout all of this. Until that turnover, of course, but I was trying to force things and get a big play to go my way. I don't want to just have a bronze. I really don't know how I would have gotten up to a silver or a gold there. And I think UMass is a part of the MAC, or they're about to be soon. They're a 77 overall, but what's important about this screen is this wide receiver, Chance Morrow's one of the guys that I was thrown to. He's number 6, but number 2 is JJ Jenkins. I'm just learning my teammates' names now. And somehow Buffalo picked up another win. They won in the final seconds. At this rate, I'm never taking the starting job from CJ, but you never know, he could always get injured, and my focus for now has to be this position battle to become the backup. Now I have one of my teammates giving me advice on NIL deals. I don't think I'm going to get any soon, but maybe I can be confident. And my academic advisor wants me to come in to study. Maybe I should if I have a huge test coming up. I'm going to study a lot. That better give me a big boost, but what I love about position battles is if you win the best of 3, that's how you take the job. So I could redeem myself even if this first drill went bad, but it's the option attack one, so of course it's not going to be hard to beat this 16,000 points goal. This kind of feels like the easy way out. I could literally do anything here and score a touchdown. I mean, I'm celebrating mid-play for like 10 or 15 yards, and that was all it took to seal it. EA does need to fix this fast. I told them about it. They are aware of it as well, but that's only winning one of the best of 3s. Now I'm on to scramble to survive, and this was one that I have struggled with fact, in the past, I stepped outside the pocket to take a sack, which was not a great idea. I thought I was going to be able to make that throw, and we're just going to hope for the best. I do not like how this is going so far. It looks like we have to get this out to triangle, but I fumbled. And you know what? Maybe I was bailed out by the fact that I did win that first battle. I mean, this is hard. You almost have to throw for a touchdown on every single one of these while waiting for the buttons to become open on the wide receiver. And that leaves us with Pass Skeleton to win the best of 3 and become the backup. The score to beat is 2,000 points, so I will keep that in mind. And I don't know what exactly happened there, but I've been waiting in the pocket way too long to get that ball out. Please make a big play. All I want to do is just become the backup. Then we have a chance at the starting job. But if I can't even get that right, it's going to be a long time before we have another opportunity. I think they're running man-to-man on this play, but then they drop somebody back in the zone, so I was wrong. And I think you all can see that this score is not going to be difficult to beat. I even threw an interception, but it didn't matter. With 22 seconds left, all we need is a little bit more points-wise. And we're one touchdown away from it, which is going to come right here. Well, never mind. We have to do that one more time, apparently. Now I'm going to win the backup job. And that's the first big step in my career. I needed something like that to go my way. I still think it's almost impossible to have a really good score in this Pass Skeleton one. I mean, I threw a few picks, but that's not important. All I had to do was win the best of 3, and it gave me an additional 700 coach trust as well. Jack Shields, you've been relegated down to QB3, buddy, and somehow I have gotten very close to passing up CJ as well. That position battle could come next week, but if I train, I'll also have an opportunity to upgrade my player, and I'd like to increase my IQ because then my overall goes up by more, but I should save up till I have 3 skill points instead of 2 so I can increase my accuracy. Now we're ready to start MAC conference play, and it was a close ending, but I wasn't able to spectate it, so that's something I hope they're able to fix in the next iteration. And it's not like CJ was playing well, so maybe that's why they're giving me an opportunity to become the starter. In the midst of all that though, I got a text from my academic advisor about a test grade and saying that the midterms are coming up, but I had no clue there was a test, so I'm shocked that my GPA increased. Then we have Delaney hitting me up like all the other girls do, and she wants me to go to a party with her, but you know what? I'm about my business. I'm not skipping my lab. We're declining this offer. If I can make it to the NFL, there's going to be a million Delaney's in my DMs, and I don't know how I earned it, but I've become a fan favorite being on the bench. I don't have a position battle though.
Oh my god, he dropped this shit, what the fuck?
So maybe that comes next week. And even though I've been studying all semester, it's still saying that I'm pretty underprepared for this next exam. That's not a great thing, but I still want to make sure I showcase every practice mode in this video, and I think I have to go to target passing. It was an amazing idea by somebody at EA to allow you to have all these different practice types, because now they don't feel as boring or repetitive, but I'm missing the target. I don't know how I'm going to hit one of these. Maybe I just throw it in stride like that, and that might be the move every single time, but I'm going to overthrow it too. This is a pretty difficult drill. I'm pretty sure that they had something like this in Madden, but because I don't play it, this is my first time experiencing it, and with that in mind, I didn't even get bronze. Now I'm stuck going on a road trip to Connecticut, and I guess because I'm the backup, there's always a chance that I will get out there on the field. That's exactly what happened after seeing the score at the end of the third quarter, and this camera angle feels so close up. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make reads very well using it. When it comes to my play selection screen, you'll see that I can change the play 10 times by hitting triangle, and then that gives me more options, but I had to back the camera up. I was not enjoying that other one, and that should be a good throw. Things are looking a lot better now, but I want to try to scramble too. I use speed, I put it into a lot of different categories, which means if that was one of the focuses of my build, I have to make sure that it doesn't go to waste. What's really important with this game is that I just don't turn the ball over. There was a flag on this play before I threw it away, and I have a feeling it was clean, so we're moving back. I'm really locked into the moment, but I do like that I'm able to audible other routes out there onto the field since the play calling options are very limited. The Texas route is going to work us wonders, and is that my first touchdown pass? What a play from the running back. He just took off with his jets.
When we come to the table, it's what we all bring that matters.
Damn, he got that. I know he gonna get that shit, man.
Bring your best.
Purina puppy chow and kitty chow. Highly digestible with sensitive stomachs. DHA to help support healthy brain and vision.
There you go! Fuck.
And because of the penalty, it didn't count when I threw it away, so I have 100% completion percentage. Now with a minute left, we have the ball again, and I just don't want to turn it over. That would literally ruin this amazing game that I've been having so far. And I don't know if I have the arm strength to bomb them over the top. I also don't know how fast some of these receivers are. But I was going to go for it right there, and I need to step up in the pocket where the camera jumps forward. Bro. I fumbled the football, and what just happened? I really don't understand why it did that. But I hope it doesn't affect my job at becoming the starter in the next game. And somehow that one touchdown touchdown pass has made me a fan favorite, upgraded to the next level. It's a mental ability that has to do with my GPA. It increases my composure gains at home, and it says I have at least a 3.8, which means all the studying's been worth it, but I have so much coach trust that I knew eventually I'd be able to challenge for the starting job. I might not win it though. Just looking at this first drill, I've not been good at it, and I don't understand what I'm supposed to do here. I have to wait so long to be able to throw this ball, and then it's gonna be hit. Well, at least it should have been. He could not hold on to that there, but it's just really hard to score touchdown after touchdown, and it's like the same two plays over and over. I also need my offensive line to hold up for long enough, and they just aren't doing a good job of it. I wish I could scramble for them too. I barely have enough time to even hit triangle. Come on. And what are these routes? I can't audible them. They're not going to go all the way to the end zone, so it's not even going to matter what happens. I saw something there though that I was missing, so I'm going to try to figure it out the next time I have it. And option attack is up next, so we're going to tie up the series at 1-1. If I was able to lose this, that would be very bad. I mean, it literally takes zero skill at all. It's like you're playing on rookie slowed down even more. So the best of 3 should still happen, but I kind of goofed around in this, and I'm going to regret that. Don't even look at my point total up there. I don't know what happened, and I don't want to talk about it. I was starting to celebrate on the computer and stuff, but maybe it's not bugged because I just lost that battle, and I really shouldn't have. No matter what happens here now, I'm not going to earn the starting job, so I didn't take it that seriously, but I didn't realize I'd get negative coach trust because of losing all 3. This road to glory is a challenge, but I still have more coach trust than CJ Ogbonna, and it's a bye week, so maybe I can become QB1 in the following one. For now, I've just been continuing to study, spending 5 energy points to make sure I was prepared for the exam, but I don't see a position battle, so they're making me become more patient. At least I can say with this upgrade, I'm going to have 3 skill points to spend, and then I went all in on leadership. I want to raise that more while I am locked in on my player score, even though I haven't been on the field that much, and increasing our accuracies can help. Man! 75 overall freshman quarterback. That passes me up the other quarterbacks a ton. As you can see, I'm all the way up here, and then I scroll back to find CJ, the guy that I passed up at the start's even farther back. And since we know that I'm not going to earn gold in pass skeleton, and I don't want to cheese it with option attack, I'm left with 3 practices to choose between. Target passing ones are out of the question. I couldn't do it. Same with scramble survive, so we're going to be completing pocket presence a ton. This is my favorite drill, and the one that I'd recommend you all try, because you have to make sure that you're dodging all those balls while also hitting these targets accurately, and I think I've been holding on too long. I need the ball to float in the air a little bit more, and I have to say, maybe practice just isn't for me. Heisman difficulty is going to make this playthrough very challenging, but it's going to be rewarding when I get out there on the field, and I'm kind of hoping that we go down by 30 like we did against UConn, so I get my chance. That didn't happen though, as we have fallen now to 2-4, and my fan favorite ability just keeps on upgrading. What I want though is that starting job, and I have another opportunity, so that's important, and my midterm results are back where I got all A's. That's good to know, but we have been struggling in conference play. We're sitting down here at 0-2, so the team needs my help, and I'm not losing again. Well, we're off to a great start because we have the option attack coming up, and I'm not going to mess this up again. I don't know how I lost it that last time. You can watch this running back literally just gets a touchdown when he shouldn't be able to, and I was just doing dumb things like this, but I can still pitch it last second, and he's just going to hit another gear. It is so broken. I think the main issue I ran into is I was celebrating like the entire play, but that time around we did what we needed, and pass skeleton is up next. This is another one that's very winnable for me as long as I make the smart reads. That is never a given on this channel though, and I don't think it would be as entertaining if I wasn't bad at playing this game, so that's how I see things, even if I do make some really rough reads sometimes, but that was a good one. Now we have another play where they're running man-to-man coverage, and that just means as long as I'm patient, number 6 gets open, I hit him in stride, and we have a ton of yards. But then I tried to force it for no reason because I felt like the pressure was off me, so that means this completion's gonna win it instead. With 2 battles won, it doesn't matter what happens here, but I need to figure out how to aim my passes better, and that was a bullseye. Because of how good of a start I had to this drill, this is the best one I've done yet, but every so often I just missed the target, and I was going for silver, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to make that happen. The balls almost just got me there. Still bobbing and weaving them, and this is another good one. I'm so close to that silver now, and I think I've done what I want to hit gold, and I just did. What a throw. Not only did we win the position battle, becoming the starter, but I earned 1,500 coach trust because I did incredible during all of those. There's no chance anybody ever catches me and challenges me, even if I do throw like 4 interceptions against Western Michigan. I don't appreciate how much my academics have dropped though. I have to get it all the way back up by using all of our energy, and that means I didn't have much time to review film before my first start. The Broncos are good too, they're 4-2, but I've been waiting for a moment like this, and we're starting with a jet touch pass. Another Another little nitpick I am going to have for Road to Glory is I'm not able to skip
Chad,
a
you got
single play.
Xbox.
I have to watch everything no matter what. So it's fine right now because we're throwing the ball. But if we were running it, I'd still have to go out there and hand the ball off, and that's more frustrating if you're like a wide receiver. Can you imagine using somebody like McMillan and you're just stuck blocking on play after play? You can't skip it. And I don't like that coach wants us to go back to the run on 3rd and 3 as well, but it worked this time. I feel like everything on this first drive has worked out for us so far. That was also a laser, but I don't want to hand it off again, and I don't have great options. This is my staple though. I found the right offense for me. I love running that jet touch pass, and here on 3rd and 4, luckily the Broncos didn't score either, so we're getting it back on the 10-yard line, and we have a lot of runs coming up, but we're in a tough position, so I don't mind it. Now it's 3rd and 10, and I am just going to take the drag. I didn't want to throw an interception. I want to keep my mistakes limited, but that's going to cause us to punt it again, and I'm going to have to somehow lead this team to a victory over them. I don't want to say that I'd transfer after 1 year because that seems kind of dumb, but I need our guys to make plays like this.
Oh my God!
We have hit our
What the?
That is exactly.
Oh my God! Why did I do this shit?
No time getting points of their own again. I think it's really going to bug me that I'm not able to skip
Why the
all these
fuck did I
handoffs,
do
but at
that?
least I can
Why did I do that?
And that's what we're going to do here, going over to deep curl. I wanted an opportunity to go back to our best wide receiver, and Chance Morrow isn't going to hold on to it. So we find ourselves down 21-7, and they've sent in a blitz. I have to get that out as soon as possible. My only hope might be beating them deep over the top, but I have to roll out to make this throw on the run, and I have a feeling it's underthrown. Please don't intercept it. If I just set my feet there, we probably would have been fine, and I had somebody, but this is when everything starts to go downhill. We're going to end the first half trailing 24-7, and it's not like I've played bad, but there's definitely some drives that I could have done a better job on, and this little halfback motion screen worked out well. The drags and the underneath throws are the ones that normally get open, and they're pretty safe to take consistently, but I'm not sure I'm in a position where I can worry about taking this safe throw, even though I want to hit our running back, and that's a flag. I crossed the line of scrimmage before throwing it, and I've finally been given a chance to run the option, but I probably made the wrong decision keeping it. Now it's 3rd and 19. I don't like either of these play calls. I had to switch it, but even then, it's going to be hard to thread the needle here, and I didn't have time. This Buffalo team is not great, but again, it's also me that's making mistakes costing us, and how do you not catch it? We might be in for a long second half of the season if things continue like this, and my new main goal is for us to just make a bowl game. How did they get in so fast? I mean, I just watched one of my offensive linemen not block, and even though we're starting to pick up defensive stops, it is not looking good for us. We're going into the 4th quarter down 17 still, but maybe coach will allow me to open up the playbook a little bit more, and I have our tight end deep if the safety doesn't get back to it. The safety must have swatted it into his hands, and this is going to be another sack. So it doesn't matter what we do. They're about to hold us again, and I thread the needle. I don't have the ability to flip the play call though, so we're running a jet touch pass to the weak side of the field. And maybe that's realistic because you're not going to look at your head coach and tell him that you want to flip it. He's going to know best, but on 3rd and goal, I hit the play change, and this is still my only option available. So I guess we're running the counter, and please just get into the end zone. There we go. We have it back within 2 possessions, and they'd score again, but it's only a field goal, so this one's not over. But what was that? There was a flag on the play, and it looks like it was roughing me, so I have to accept the penalty. And I think a comeback is off of the table, but if we were able to pull off something like that, it would be an incredible first start. If I have any takeaways from this first performance, it's probably the fact that I haven't turned the ball over yet, but I probably should be scrambling more even if the camera jumps forward, because it seems to work out very nicely for us, and I like those zig routes a lot. We're going to break the tackles now, but we still have to get into the end zone. This is in the territory for me to make a really bad read, but I didn't, and we wouldn't recover the onside kick, so we're going to lose by 6. If it wasn't for a bad defensive second quarter, though, we could have won. And for my first career start, especially with my own user errors, to not have any turnovers is a big deal. Just looking at this remaining schedule, though, if we're going to make a bowl, we can only lose one more of these matchups, and we have absolutely zero shot at making the MAC Conference Championship. I'm starting to feel better about how my career is going, so maybe I'll go to this party with Audrey. I'm even going to give an overly eager response to that, saying I've been hanging out with her since the start of the year. Okay, stop sending more texts. Do not blow her phone. Okay, why are we still sending text to her? This is a bad thing. I didn't even have a chance to read them. It was going so quick, but this is not good. Asking should I wear anything in particular, negative Riz for sure. I ended up getting blocked by Audrey. What on earth is happening in Road to Glory? And that is crazy. Now I have an NIL offer. I don't want to get blocked by them too, so I'm going to be smart about how I answer. And I only have 189 followers, so to spend 2 energy and get 10,000 seems like a deal I need to take. It'll also make it less likely that I get injured in the next 8 weeks, and I have a perfect opportunity opportunity to get my first win on the road at 0-7 Ohio. As much as there are some things about this mode that bug me, I'm gonna voice them too. This has been fun to play through. I am definitely invested in the player career. And because I'm the starter now, I don't think practice is that important. I'm probably just gonna sim it from here on out going into the games. And I'm excited for this one. The Bobcats should be my first victim. They look so happy running out of the tunnel, but I'm gonna dot them up. Or I'm gonna hand the ball off because coach has decided we are running the football. At least we have a jet touch pass now. This goes to my stats. That counts as a completed pass, but what is Chance Morrow doing? He had that right side of the field wide open, and he just decided to not take it, but we're still completing a pass. And I'm looking at those two receivers on that left side of the field because I knew eventually somebody would find the space over their chances down to the 3. I might not get credit for this touchdown, but as long as we get in, we're going to be in a way better position. And I love how Jaquez Barksdale just fought. For a running back on a 73 overall team, he isn't bad at all. And I've been given a chance to keep the ball with this read option, but that was not the correct one. And I also fumbled it. Wonderful, wonderful. I don't know exactly what happened, but we were able to recover it. It didn't look like we did, but we're still punting it back to the Bobcats. And this time around, we're running an RPO where that isn't getting anything. I'm sticking to what coach wants to run though, and this hitch route gets us like 8. But the real thing I just figured out was if I go in hurry up mode, I have an option for a lot of different plays, and that's going to vastly change about how I handle the rest of this football game. Number 2 is also broken free, and look at that speed. JJ Jenkins is another name to keep in mind outside of Chance Morrow. And I've already changed the play call so many times, which probably isn't good since I can only do it a certain amount of times in a game. On 3rd and 7 to end this quarter, I'm expecting eventually our wide receiver would get open there, and they've called pass interference. We've been saved. That might have been the reason he couldn't break free though, and just looking at these stats, we've dominated. I'm not quite sure what Ohio's been up to, but I did not want that ball to go there. That's my first interception in this. We knew it was eventually going to come. So when I watch that back, I can just shake my head like the rest of you all. And my coach doesn't trust me to throw it again. He wants me to do a jet touch pass.
Well, I ain't gonna lie, I done missed it.
All the space, and that's what I wanted him to do at the earlier part in the game. Right now, we're about to go up by 2 possessions. I really want to get us our first win in this season. That shouldn't have been caught. And it might just be best if I continue to hand it off down in the red zone. We have a little bit of a concept over here on the left side of the field, but we can't control the running back. So Barksdale runs out of bounds. It is now 3rd and 4, and our slant is open. I was able to make up for my previous turnover. And our defense is cracked out right now. They have us with the ball back on like the 30-yard line. If I could chew the clock, I would definitely do so, but I'd have to wait like 30 seconds before snapping it. And that's another thing that I would love to have control of in the next game.
Get by there, baby! Get by there, baby! Let's go!
Road to glory, but if they fix them, it's going to be a blast. And look at that. A ball that was played right where it needed to be.
Come on, Chad. 59 seconds, man. Can I do it?
That one certainly stings a little bit, but we beat them off the line, and it's another drop. Well, 3rd and 10. I'm just going to laser it straight to our tight end, and that's how you hold on. Now I think it's safe to say that we are cooking, and we just took a 21-point lead. I can't say that the game's over, though. Travis can't drive down the field themselves and get 7, making it 14 again, and we're still breaking tackles. JJ Jenkins is insane. There's not much time left in this half.
I cannot wait to the dynasty, y'all.
I'm going to stick with number 6, and they did. We're going to take our drag instead. Please go ahead and get out of bounds here. They're saying he didn't, so the clock is still running, and this halfback angle route's also open. Please go all the way. We've scored another. Our running back, Barksdale, is just going crazy right now. And in this second half, I'm going to be careful to not throw any more interceptions. I don't have to force anything. We're in complete control of this game, but I hit that route a second too late, and with the halfback screen on 3rd and 9, Barksdale's a bit short. Ohio fans think they have a chance still, but judging by the fact that we've gotten the ball back in this position, they don't, and I placed that right on the line. I'm starting to really appreciate this camera angle right here. I wish it was just the default one, and we still have at least 4 games left after this, but I think I can get Buffalo into a bowl. I might even enter the transfer portal if I have some offers to play for a bigger school, and that's why it is so crucial we finish the rest of this year. We just threw another dot. 4 touchdowns, 80% completion percentage. I could be doing better. And at some point, you imagine that I'd get pulled for this game, so people could come in. They did the right thing giving me his starting job. It just took me a second to figure everything out, and we really shouldn't have dropped that pass. I'm pretty sure the entire last quarter of this is just going to be us running out the clock, so I'll make sure not to show much of it. But I had to mix in a couple more jet passes just to help my stats even more. They really need to add the feature, though, where chew clock is automatically turned on. I'm waiting 40 seconds to snap the ball, and between that and not being able to skip plays, it feels like they just weren't thinking about our playthrough experience. At the end of the day, though, we are going to win this one by 25, and it was about time Buffalo came out on top of a conference matchup. I'm going to have a great time celebrating this win, and I've won my first player of the game and game as a starter. Even with that in mind, though, I do think it's important that I still agree agree to go to class and stuff because I can't let my GPA fall, but I also should work on my leadership because we have to get that up too. I do want to train a little bit just to get more skill points, but it seems like these leadership benefits could actually be massive. And I have 3 to spend right now, so I don't want to pay so it's going to be either elusiveness, and I might
I'm done.
I'm not
Why ain't go down with the damn pin?
The throws that I want, but it does look like Akron has a very solid
God.
So hopefully he doesn't force me into making a terrible read because I want to get us to a bowl game. Even though Buffalo's not great, I truly think it's possible. This camera's a little weird though. And on 2nd and 11, I was really hoping for cover 2. We actually have them beat deep, and that is going to be knocked down. I thought I had a touchdown to start this one out, but instead I think we're going to be held to a 3-and-out. And I'm really proud of what our defense has been doing because they would force Akron to the same, so we have the ball back again. I want to get us on the board first, and we're going to have our tight end on the hit, but I might have to throw it again. We hurried it up, and we're going to let that slant be knocked down. It's been an interesting start to this matchup for sure, and these RPOs are kind of tripping me out. That could have been more. We can't go 3 drives in a row without scoring points, but the safety got over it, and these struggles are not good for the Browns. 2nd and 14. Come on, we need a big run, and that's what we get. But now all the pressure is on me to make the right read, and our tight end's open, which he's going to have enough. That was kind of a close call right there, but I might hurry it up after this play because I want to be able to select whatever pass play on this 3rd and long. We have some good routes out there on the field. If I have enough time, we should be fine, and I needed him to come down. Please make this throw. The playmaker worked wonders, and look at that game. It is incredible what I can do when I have enough time, and the RPO is amazing. I love RPOs after that. It just took 2 big plays to score a touchdown. But the RPOs that confuse me are when there's like 4 different routes out there on the field. How am I ever going to make the right read? I just hand it off. 2nd and 2, I'm going to keep the read option, but they're all over it. And it looks like they're going with man-to-man coverage on 3rd down, but there had to be some PI there because the slant should have been open. I mean, our tight end just got fully bumped, but the refs swallowed their whistle because we're playing at Akron, so now we just have to be a little bit smarter. A 3-minute drive down the field could tie it up or help us take a lead, and I think we're just going to let our running back keep it with the option. That was the right one there. I haven't changed the play call once either. We are using a lot of the RPOs though, so maybe it is best to continue to run whatever coach wants me to, but this one was my own decision and it worked wonders for us. Keep on going, Barksdale. You know that's who we're going to keep on giving it to as well. The halfback screen puts him out in open space, but there's 2 tacklers on him, giving us a chance to breathe for a second so I can run down the clock. And it'll be interesting to see what type of coverage they go with here. It was man-to-man, but they swatted down my open read, and we had someone in the end zone, which was caught. Our defense is also insane, by the way, forcing a turnover. I don't like how those safeties are lined up, and we're going to have them beat deep. That's my favorite wide receiver. Chance Morrow is down at the 5. We could really end this first half with a bang. I might even try to scramble here if I can get the blocks, which I did. And that's the first rushing touchdown in my career. Something's continuing to go wrong for Akron as well, because somehow we have the ball back with 22 seconds left in this half still. And they took me off before I could see if we got a field goal or not. I think we missed it, but the Zips didn't score on their first drive in the 3rd quarter. So we're in full control of this game, and I'm actually having to watch this play back because I was so confused at what happened here. Our running back broke the tackle and then just took off for a touchdown. It kind of stinks that Jaquez Barksdale's a senior because he's been incredible. And I feel really confident even if Akron was able to score again because we're in control. Even if I'm not passing, I know that our rushing attack is able to get a few. And then when the 3rd down comes around, it's just on me to deliver a good throw, but I put him in a bad spot. Good thing we'd get it back like a minute later though, and the wide receiver screen blocks didn't work the best, but it did its trick, and it's just another run after run. If I can just get it in my head to hurry it up more, that's how I can avoid that happening to us. And I think this RPO is going to work wonders. I'm probably going to throw it no matter what, and they read it like a book. I should not have predetermined that read right there. I knew if we got open, we'd have a touchdown, but that was the corner that I was scared of throwing at the beginning of the game, and our defense is bailing us out. I mean, we have not done much ever since that breakaway run, and at least for my performance, this 3rd quarter's been atrocious. They would fumble the ball though, causing another turnover, and I've just had to step up in the pocket on a 3rd and 10 to take this. I didn't want to rely on anybody else, and the last time I ran this play, it didn't work out well for us, but this time it should, and our tight end was able to get free down to the 3. We're in hurry up mode too. I have to be able to get a touchdown here. I want to just scramble on it, which means I think it's safe to say I made up for my turnovers once again, and we're going to run out the rest of the clock. Well, we struggled to run out the clock, but we still got the win. And that's all that matters because we've now gotten back-to-back wins. I think Barksdale's probably going to win player of the game over me though, but they gave it to me anyway, even with my 2 turnovers. And what I'm about to do might be very stupid, but they said that there are answers for the test, so why would I spend energy studying whenever I could take that risk? Well, that was the right move. It says I aced it, and I even missed a few questions just so it wasn't too suspicious. So I'm able to enjoy this bye week in peace, and my GPA is sitting at a 4.0, but we have to make sure that I'm prepared for that final exam in 4 weeks, which I now am. With that out of the way, we could also just make sure we train a little bit and increase our leadership too. But more importantly, spend our 4 skill points to upgrade our accuracy even farther, and now I'm a 78 overall. It's gonna take a while to get all of those skill points back, but we'll continue to train a lot and then recover so we are fully healthy, alongside boosting up our leadership even farther, because I think we unlock an ability if we're able to get into that excellent tier. One thing I do wish there was more of though was stuff in this coach trust screen. All that can happen as I continue to get more of it is earn more plays that I can call throughout the game, but even when you go from 1 to 3 options, sometimes they're not good, and we have Ball State up next. Looking at the conference standings, if we wouldn't have lost one of these 3 games, I think we could be in the running for the conference championship still, but we aren't. And just looking through these bowl projections right now, they don't think that we're going to make one. I need to though, because if I want to transfer, I think it would help my offers. And is that snow that I'm seeing on the field? We're about to play our first snow game. I should have known this was coming, choosing Buffalo, and that might be a reason not to transfer out. This looks awesome, and the detail on the snow is immense too, because as players take footsteps, you can see their steps. Here we go, first play of the game. They are wearing all white, so I can almost guarantee that there's going to be a play that I don't see anybody on, and then I throw an interception straight to them, but we're taking sack after sack, so I'm just going to try to bomb them deep, and that our fans don't look too happy with me, but I think our offense was missing the rushing attack as a part of it. It's a key thing that we established the run. They need to come down and stack the box, making it easier to throw, but our slants drop too, and this has not been the way I wanted to open it up. Luckily, Ball State doesn't seem too gifted on offense, but with all this snow, I didn't realize that we were on our own 4-yard line, and if we take a safety, that would not be good. It's about to happen. Oh boy, a jet touch pass on the goal line is a terrible idea, and we're just lucky that we're able to punt it back to them. They would score a touchdown though, making it 10-0. Again, we're not doing well, and my hope is that they're running cover 2 on this play, which they were, or maybe cover 3, and I thought that was supposed to be a bullet pass. I held down for so long, I don't know why it sat there and floated in the air, but they're about to pick that. And by the next time we're getting the ball back, it is 17-0. What is happening? Maybe it's safe to say that I am not built to play in the snow, as that was a pick. Are you serious? I had a touchdown too. I stepped up in the pocket. I thought I had enough time, but I didn't, so it's time for the biggest comeback of my career, and this is another sack. I really don't think it could get any worse for us. I'm just hoping that we're faster than the corner they have on that part of the field, and we're handing it off for a 3rd and 12 that's going to go to a punt back to them. I don't think this game in the snow could be going any worse. We're going to take the drag, hoping to get a little bit of momentum, which we kind of did, but we only have 30 seconds left before they have to get any points against this defense, and that was just hard enough. All right, I am trying to put on a master class, and I think we had them beat, but the safety got over to it. Yep, I should just retire at this point. Oh, I got to make a tackle too. I can't believe how bad it's going. Our fans want me to get benched right now, I can tell. But it's not over. We're getting the ball to start the 3rd quarter, and I want to come back. I really think if that safety is not helping over the top, we would have a touchdown right here, and we should. I put the ball exactly where it needed to be, but Chance Morrow did not run after the catch. I wish I could tell him what type of catch to make there. And what's the point of hitting the play change if I just get the same option twice? I'm basically stuck running whatever coach wants me to, but at least we're going to pick up 25. And it's a shame that we opened up the game in such a horrendous way. 2nd and 7 now. They are just going to leave our drag open for a bit more. But to move the chains, we have to pick up this 3rd and 4, and please hold on to the hinge. Now the pressure's on. What I wanted to do was instantly roll out, but instead I'm stepping up for the touchdown run, and we still have a very long way to go. But the comeback has started, and our defense has held it down for us. Here on 2nd and 9, I'm going to take that zig route like I always do in this situation. And that makes this a 3rd and manageable, where I'm going to step up, and I'm just quick enough to pick it up, but I should have slid. If I wasn't able to spend energy and heal instantly, that would definitely affect my wear and tear, but we should be fine at least for the moment, and I threw that a little bit too late, but it didn't matter. Now we are passing down on the 1-yard line, and I'm not a huge fan of that, but I had the slant, and now I'm scrambling for my life to just knock it in. All we need is 1 yard. Please go ahead and just do it. And did he just jump over him to get into the end zone? We've actually pulled off this comeback in the 3rd quarter because of stuff like that too. I mean, we are within 1 possession with the ball back.
This is crazy!
I know I'm normally
man, I would have got
but I am having so much fun in Road to Glory. And I'm taking a massive risk here. I want them to bite down so I can go with a deep shot, but it did not work. Oh no, it is 3rd and 19 to start the 4th quarter, and I'm sure it's going to be impossible to pick up. Looking around the rest of the country, you know we're not in the top 25, but Rutgers was somehow number 4. And here we go. If this is cover 2 on the right side of the field, we're going to have it, and I just sent it, but I noticed that the left side was open too late. I wish I didn't look just on one part of the field, but our defense held it down for us again. They're doing a great job on Ball State. Now I'm hoping for man-to-man coverage. We have a lot of different things that could get open here if it is, and it was over the top that was, but I can never trust my offensive line to block for long enough, and that's drop 2. We might be blowing the comeback, and the fact that the Cardinals still can't score is so crazy to me. Starting this drive inside our 5-yard line, though, is a setup for disaster until that run, and let's see what the defense is giving us. I do have square open, but I saw it late. 2nd and 10 now. I'm gonna stand a little bit taller in the pocket because that's what I have to do, but it did not work out, and I am about to have to scramble for this first. Please tell me we are quick enough. That's why I went with improviser. I cannot stress enough how important that was for us to pick up. I'm just gonna go with the drag for another 5 or 6, and I'm really wondering if I'm on any bigger school's radar for performance to become the starter. I feel like I should be, but I also should be thinking about transferring this soon in my career and another 15-yard.
Oh my God, what is nasty?
I've kind of gotten used to it, and that is about to be picked. I just got so lucky. We're going back to our halfback for like 5 or 6, and I've audible to call an inside zone because of the formation that they're in. We can pick up this first down with him, which we're going to do right here. The pressure is on, and I almost want to run down the clock for when we
guys, bro, Oklahoma
been incredible in the second half. I don't want to put the game in the hands of our defense, and that's all you have to do. Be patient. An injury timeout did cause the clock to stop, though, which might affect some of my plans. And they keep getting more.
They not like this, bro. They got niggas playing different.
So it's like they want to give a chance to respond, and they clamp the slam. 3rd and goal. Again, there's no rushing option, but I'm going to take down the clock. I have my concept of that zig route on the left side of the field, and I trust Chance Morrow to get open here, but he didn't, and I didn't mean to hit that button. I just turned it over at the worst time. We still had an extra down. I didn't have to force it at all. Why did I do that? I'm so upset with myself. We should have beaten Ball State and come back, and now we have to win these final 2 games to make a bowl. This might be the worst stat line that I've had in this video.
I got 0 touchdowns
to 3 interceptions, and with numbers like that, I'm not transferring anywhere. Jake Orlando's even texted me, "Don't look on your social feed today. You and the team are getting roasted pretty badly." But I'm gonna pull a KD. I'm making a burner account to defend myself. It kind of backfired though, because then Jake Orlando texted me about it, and I'm getting roasted even harder. I'm losing Brandon followers. I have like 189. It doesn't matter. But that is so funny, and I don't care about my academic advisor right now. I need to go to a concert just to feel better. Somehow that increased my GPA. I'm not sure how. I didn't read the text. And all I know is we have to win at the factory, and then we have to beat Kent State to make a bowl like I
I got Fast and Furious through a big. I hate this game, bro.
I need to make sure that my player recovers. I'm gonna have to do it twice. And I just realized that my followers went from like 189 to 100. I don't care about those at all. We're gonna go back into leadership. I'm already taking note of the Eastern Michigan defense as well, because they have a cornerback with 94 acceleration. We're not going to be able to bomb him over the top. And look at these MAC conference standings. We've got to be better than that if I'm at Buffalo for another year. And of course we're playing in the snow again. But I did something really dumb, and that was putting Eastern Michigan in white jerseys. I forgot that Buffalo had some black threads, so I wanted to wear them, but now it's going to be hard to see the defense again. And I will gladly continue to hand this ball off, but after seeing these black jerseys, I kind of want to stay here. I mean, transferring could be cool, but I should probably win a MAC championship first. I'll always listen to you all in the comments before I film the next episode. And here on 2nd and 6, I'm throwing my first pass of the game, which is going to be caught, but it was definitely placed a lot higher than I wanted it to be, and that ball should not be caught. They kind of clamped me up, but our defense had an amazing stop, putting us inside the red zone from the start.
Let's go!
An amazing opportunity to get some points if that slant is open. What I'm going to do is call a quarterback draw on 3rd and inches. I'm not sure how this is going to pan out. I haven't ran one of these before, but our offensive line just got destroyed. And you all saw at the end of that Ball State game, passing in the red zone makes me very nervous. We're lucky to be up 7-0 though, and we have the ball back with a chance to take a 2-possession lead. So that is what we're going for, and I feel like we beat that linebacker over the top, but we didn't make the catch. I pretty much have full control over where I place the ball, so any mistake would be mine, but I am able to step up at least here, and I can't outrun that guy. I need to slide. You can see a little fire icon next to my name, which means I'm on fire, but we still have a lot more work to do here. And I'm starting to appreciate being able to watch us hand it off. It's still pretty cool. Having the option to skip plays would still be nice, but that's something I've never stayed in for on Road to Glory, and there we go, I'm going down. I think EA has a really good mode that they can build off of for their next iteration, and I should be pretty happy with how that first quarter went, because we we have full control. 2nd and 7, another handoff is going to get us a couple more. But what happens on 3rd and 5 is all up to me, and they're running man-to-man coverage over there. I threw it anyway, holding down for just long enough so it would be a hard throw, but I didn't think we'd catch it. Sometimes it's really hard to tell if that red passing meter even hurts you in those situations. And Eastern Michigan Stadium's got a pretty cool layout around it. I'm looking at the back of the end zone right now, but I'd rate their facilities, and now with the drag, that should have been a fumble. 3rd and 9 is a bit tough. They're going to go with zone coverage, and I think I'm going to step up where I take the sack. That wasn't ideal since they would get another field goal, but it's also not the worst thing in the world, and there's a flag. Go ahead, say the penalty's on number 78. It was holding. And once it's 1st and 20, I just have to play this really smart because I don't want to turn the ball over. Here on 2nd and 10, I should have that hitch open, but instead I'm going to scramble. And I feel like my pocket awareness is getting a lot better the more that I play. I'm also hoping I can roll out and do something here, but maybe I should have just thrown that away. It's going to be interesting to see where Chance goes with that route. I've had it get open in the past, and for only sending 3 players, I feel like they shouldn't have been able to get a sack that quick, but it's not like we're picking this up anyway, which is why I ran down all the clock before snapping that last ball, taking it to the half at 14-6, and now we have it again. It also seems like more often than not, they're trying to stop me with the option, which I guess does make sense when you think about my scrambling ability. Please get the first. We definitely should have picked that up, but we didn't, and it's a miracle how our defense has started to carry us. They've made it possible for me to underperform and us still start winning, but just the littlest route bounce can really mess us up, and that's why I decided to use my legs on 3rd down right here. I already know with running the ball this much, I'm probably going to have to improve my wear and tear after about every week, and please don't intercept that ball. It was a red throw, but I thought that's what I had to do. I mean, if I didn't throw it that hard, they would have picked it, and I'm just thankful that they didn't get the 2-point conversion after scoring a touchdown. I am no longer having fun. If we lose this game, we're not making a bowl, and I can't believe how weak their stadium pulse is. This is a huge in this game, but I'm going to go for the deep pass, and it is swatted. I don't know how we have it back again, but they are just struggling against our defense, I guess, and we're taking a big one here. So we're still chilling, even though we really shouldn't be, and come on. I'm just going to go back to the run again, though. I mean, that's what's helped us. And on 3rd down, I just want to have enough time to get this one off where it was a bit off target. They would score immediately as well. This is not looking very good. And why are these the 3 options I have to call? That's why I need to be running a hurry-up offense, but maybe we wanted to halfback draw because that's a huge run. That was perfect. I am no longer complaining. That's what we wanted in that situation. Now we're going to go back to him for another 20. And with pressure on the line, we're starting to move it a little bit better. Here on 2nd and 8, surely we're going to have enough time to get off this drag, and that's going to give us another 1st down. But I could make the wrong read here, and I just had to hand it off with RPO. I am stressing right now. I already blew that game against Ball State once we got down into this position. And on 3rd and 8, I'm going to wait until that route gets open where it is held onto, but we're still stuck going for it on 4th and 1, and come on, what are we doing? Now we have to rely on our defense to get a stop, and they actually did. They are bailing me out so hard, but it was an inaccurate throw again. They're saying he got his feet in, even though it looks like he was out of bounds by then, so I'm going to scramble and slide right here. Do not fumble. And now with the hurry up going on, I cannot see a thing with the snow out here right now. I feel like I just have to keep running the ball, and I was sliding. No way they just picked that up. They're also gone. I just blew the game because I tried to slide, but it was a second too late, and that's another touchdown. This is the worst ending to my freshman year, and I'm going to have to take a big step forward in the offseason to continue to improve on this. I mean, that was a good throw at least, but we just lost another game in the snow, and I need to recover a lot from all the hits I took in that last one. It's probably not smart to train more too, but I want to get another upgrade. And let's just end this first year bouncing back against Kent State. It's finally not snowing, which makes me happy, and unless I have crazy transfer offers after the end of the
Oh my God!
Championship, but I'm still going to take a peek at the transfer portal. I'm always going to be curious what I could do with my player, and our first play goes nowhere, but I am ready to lock in. I need to have a good performance, and this offensive line is really starting to make me upset. I want to play for a better team. Our defense would give up 7 on their first drive, so now I'm stepping up and scrambling, sliding well before, and I think this trick play might have what we need in this situation. They didn't really fall for it, though, so it all comes down to this, whether or not we pick up this 3rd down, and I like that route, but it's just a little bit off target again. I feel like I'm doing everything in my power, though, to make that right read. And on 2nd and 16, I'm just going to stare down our running back. He should be able to get open here, and that was the right decision. We're inside the red zone. It took us a little bit in this game, but we are starting to make a bit of progress against the defense. And on 2nd and 3, we'll just hand it off for a nice few more yards. I think I've been able to learn a lot in this first season just about who I am as a quarterback, so going into my sophomore year, I am pretty pumped up to just get that that one started. And look at the vision on our running back. I mean, that was just filthy, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to take like an instant sack here. The way that they came out on defense, maybe we have them beat deep and there's no way the safety gets back to it. What a ending to this first quarter. JJ Jenkins was a special guy for us, and they thought it would be smart to come out pressing again. There's actually no way. We're going to block our running back, look on both sides of the field, and I think JJ Jenkins has them again, but as I threw that, I saw the other side open. There's always stuff you're going to see after the play as well. The halfback screen does get us a few yards as we break at least one, and on 3rd and 3, I'm hoping the motion gets them a little bit panicked where our hitch route's open. We're going to be patient and just get the first. My goal in this Road to Glory series is not only to get drafted, but also win the championship and maybe even a Heisman. So we do have a long journey ahead of us in just a 4-season period, but I think we are going to be able to make it happen, and look at that. I'm really just considering where I want to transfer because of that, though. I want to always be at the best program, but at the same time, I also need to make sure that I'm always on the field. I can't afford to start my sophomore season on the bench. This is a snap that I'm not even going to take. It's a halfback direct one that gets us nothing, and I'm kind of hoping that they blitz here because then we should have a slant get open, but when I looked at the one that I wanted to take, it wasn't, so we're gonna have to hit our tight end on this one, and he dropped it. That is not helping my case to stay here, and I can't even see what's going on that right side of the field, but I was about to throw it no matter what. I'm glad that I didn't, because I would have 100% turned that football over again, and I might as well keep stepping up. I mean, as long as we get the ball down the field, it doesn't really matter how we do it. That's even something that could work, but I didn't put the ball in the best spot there. I need to keep upgrading my accuracy. 3rd and 10 now. It looks like they are going with some man-to-man coverage, but then that guy got in the way, and I almost feel like there was a little bit of PI there. It's all good. 50 seconds and a dream, which just got crushed by taking that sack.
Get him out of here, nigga! Get that nigga out of here, man!
Never mind, Kent State is taking timeouts. They really wanted to get the ball back here, and I was able to extend the play with my legs, but that wear and tear is really kicking in. I'm not sure what type of throws I'm going to be able to make the rest of this game. I'm certainly not going to be able to scramble too well, which is very concerning for me, but our slant was able to get us like 30 yards right here, and I want Orlando to just run straight by that guy, but he's not going to do that, so we're going to have to get it over the linebacker's head, and what a pass. We've hurried this play up. We're going to try to get a snap off quickly, but I have to call a timeout instead, because I think getting a field goal is more important, and look at all that wear and tear. I'm hoping that doesn't carry over into season number 2 as well, and the longer that the year went on, the less focused that I was at making just great reads after great reads. That's probably what caused the fall off, because when I first won the starting job, I was very locked in, and I don't want to say that's been the case ever since then, but it kind of has, and inaccurate balls led to an interception too. So of course I have a turnover. This game is not over, and you can see that I am way too tired, which I'm very curious to see the effects of. I'm about to take a sack. I was looking deep, and the fact that they have come out pressing on 3rd and 17, this is a very odd look for them. That's cover 3, and we are going to dot it up. I cannot believe that we just converted there, but I'm about to start running out clock. I'm nervous we're going to lose. So guess who's not snapping the ball again until the 4th quarter? I am going to lean on Barksdale. I am way too tired to be out there right now, and I'm very curious whether they go with man or zone here. Either way, I was going to throw that ball, but the coach is forcing me to let us punt it, and thank goodness our defense has gotten an interception. We really needed that. I don't know when this video is going out, but at some point Kirk Benkert is going to teach me how to read a defense, so whenever that happens, I'm going to feel a lot more confident in some of these games. And come on, we're fumbling the football. We really are so lucky to actually still be in this as well. Why did I keep it? And let's just hand it off. I mean, I have absolutely nothing left in the tank. You all should have seen my wear and tear before this drive started, and I can tell that they're probably about the blitz, but I have to take my opportunity to bomb them deep, right? I mean, they came out pressing, and that was put perfectly on the money. We shouldn't have dropped that. The fans agree with me. And look at my body. I am taking so much wear and tear. We really have to win this game in regulation after Kent State got a field goal. We cannot let this one go to overtime. Come on, 2nd and 10. We just need to step up, make the right read, and I put just enough zip on it. But these receivers do not want to hold on to the football when we need them to the most, and I shouldn't have put that ball there. I knew at the second it went out of my hand that it wasn't going to work. But I have been given life again. Please allow me to thread the needle over top of that linebacker. Come on. I just don't feel very confident holding on to the ball for long. I mean, if I take one hit, it's over. And of course I threw it straight to that defender. We're going to tackle him too. So I just got read like a book again. And somehow Kent State messed it up to where they didn't kick a field goal, and this game has gone to overtime, but I don't know what to do. My brain is fried. I always film at like 3 a.m. and I just cannot think right now. Wear and tear didn't make a difference. We still have speed on us. This entire 4th and 3rd quarter, I've been so scared to run, but evidently we are just fine doing it. And there's no shot about that. We're going to throw this though, and why didn't he catch it? There is no reason that Kent State should have won that game, and I don't think I'm going to have any options in the transfer portal. Even the local reporters hitting me up, and you know what? I'm going to be responsible. I'm going to take the blame. It's on me. But for some reason, that decreases my brand. I would personally respect a quarterback if he said the loss was his fault, and I'm just going to be respectful. What it's going to take for the Bulls to get a better team next year is going to be, we're going to commit to improving throughout the offseason, and I have high hopes. The thing is, I might not be here. I could transfer out straight A's. That's great. Did my GPA change? Probably not. I'm not sure what all that meant. And I just need to make sure I fully recover. I can't believe how much damage I took. That was a pretty crazy season, but we have 4 upgrade points to spend, and just because my accuracy was a bit off, I almost want to wait until we get 5 to upgrade it for a 3rd time. I definitely wish I could go back and cut out a lot of those interceptions, but I don't think it's the end of the world either. And it just bums me out that Jaquez Barksdale's leaving. He was my favorite running back. We're also losing senior wide receiver JJ Jenkins, but we would still have Chance Morrow if we stayed at Buffalo. And I need stats like Dylan Gabriel. Those numbers for winning the Heisman are crazy. Just looking around the rest of the college football world, Rutgers still finished 12-1, and they had a decent run in the playoffs where Ole Miss was able to win it all. Now it's time for the big decision though. I could enter the transfer portal, or I could stay in the MAC where we try to compete again and maybe take away that top spot from Western Michigan. I'm not very attached to the Bulls yet, so I am just gonna feel it out and see what else is out there, because right here it shows that I could always come back, but we have some other options like Vanderbilt and the SEC, and I'm gonna look through all of them. All the way down to Akron, all of these schools above them are offering us, and even Oregon State would be interesting if they were in a real conference, but the main 2 I'm looking at right now are Minnesota and then Vanderbilt. But then I kept on looking, seeing some bigger programs that we would start at, because Will Rogers is a senior, so he's going to automatically graduate. And there's a lot more good programs when you continue to scroll down this list. Like even Miami wants me as a 2nd stringer, and Cam Ward's going to be gone. It seems like I could pretty much play anywhere I want, but I also noticed Kentucky on that list, and I'd have to beat out Brock Vandagriff for the starting job, but I really want to play for my Wildcats. I'm not going to make the decision yet. I'm going to see what you all have to say in the comments. And sometime in the next week, episode 2 will be out with my decision, but just make sure you let me know what you all want to see in the comments.
Hey, attention everyone! I've been trying to catch the Pontiac Bandit for 8 years. You know how many months that is?
96.
46 years, months.
You're not very good at math.
Oh God. Oh my God. Oh God. Okay,
oh my God.
It's in here. It's in here. Oh, it's in my shirt.
I was gone for 30 seconds.
Dad!
You going out with your friends Friday night, right?
Oh, well, we didn't talk yet, but I don't...
Yeah, I can go. Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, I can go. Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah.
I've put myself in NCAA football, and if we're being completely honest, I'd be a terrible quarterback, but I want to play through a realistic road to glory where I'm going to return back to college at Northern Kentucky, and the goal is to go from starting as a 45 overall all the way up to a 99 where I can win the Heisman and hopefully get the Norse National Championship. Now, this might be impossible because my team isn't good, and I've put it on the hardest settings like always, but Northern Kentucky is in the MAC conference, which helps, and I'll be playing through my entire freshman year in this first episode. The goal is to work my way up from being a 3rd stringer to being the starter, but the 2 guys ahead of me are both much better players, and my throwing stats couldn't be any worse, so it's a good thing that I played soccer in the past, which is the only reason I have some speed and stamina, but unfortunately I also have to be honest about my height, and I have a feeling that most of my goals in this series aren't even possible. My team's first game is an hour south in Lexington, and obviously I had to watch from the sidelines as we lost by 35 points to Kentucky, but we knew it would be a while before I saw the field, and if Davis Brennan continues to throw picks, taking the starting job might not be that hard. We can't even be worried about that yet though, because we have to become a 2nd stringer first, and with 57 throw power, my only goal for this first practice is just throw stuff underneath, but it's still going to be inaccurate because I don't have great throw accuracy either, and this is going to be difficult. I just want to rack up as much XP as I can so I can upgrade my player as soon as possible, and I've already found Jay Stun II a few times during this practice. He's going to come away with another catch for 10, but there's a lot of plays where nobody gets open, and I'm going to try to scramble for the first time where I get outside the pocket and get a few. It really hasn't gone as bad as I thought it could, but there is a lot of issues because I've missed quite a few throws, and at the same time I've dealt with some drops, so maybe it's best if I just run because this is going to get us our largest gain yet. That could be the strategy, but it really doesn't earn that much coach trust for me. And I only have 35 so far, even though I've made no mistakes with any turnovers, and I've been trying to do the right thing. I'm going to need some breakaway plays for touchdowns or something. I don't think these drags underneath are going to work. And another receiver I've been building up some good rapport with is Malachi Harris. Both him and Jay Stun II seem to operate in the slot. I'm going to try my first deep ball, but it's dropped. And I should have known I'm not going to have the arm power to do stuff like that. That was a great throw for my last rep, but but it was dropped. And the only upgrades I can afford with that much XP would only boost us up for 1 game. It's going to be a long season for us, but as it goes on, things should get better. And this is a winnable matchup for my program. You all are going to get a first look at the home stadium, and it's small, but this is the first year NKU's had a team where freshman halfback Calvin Gibbs just put us up by 10 points. I'm shocked we destroyed an FCS school by this much, but it's a good sign. And now I'm having my first outdoor practice in the rain, which didn't start well. All the coach trust I'm trying to build up just could have gotten lost with one play, which really stinks, but I'm sure we can work to get it back. I think a good idea will be just rolling out here, and that's so off target. This is definitely the hardest challenge I've ever given myself, but I feel like if I lock in, eventually I'll be able to figure things out. And all of these drops are starting to drive me nuts. Maybe I just need to scramble and get coach trust this way, because at least I won't mess up on this. And on this next rep, man-to-man coverage is going to allow Harris to be open, but I never want to practice in the rain again. We are suffering with drop after drop, and I just want to become at least the second stringer. That was honestly a really good throw, and again, I'm going to try and take this slant, but it goes straight to them. So my coach trust just got reset to 0, and I have a feeling that's going to happen a lot. I built it up to like 100, but I need like 900 to become the starter. I'm just going to run on this play, and 22 is going to catch me. But because I'm starting from the bottom again, I'm fine trying to force it into some deeper windows. And with 6 reps left, I'm going to take this corner route over to Malachi Harris, who gets us a bit. To be honest, the second practice did not go how I thought it would, but we dealt with a ton of drops, and that's a good throw. So I've passed for a touchdown. That's what you love to see, and then there's a pick. I think it's going to be a very long road to glory for me. I'm not sure if I can pull this off. That was a good spin move, but I will lock in and eventually figure things out. This is the final rep of the second practice, and David's going to get us to like the 5 or maybe the 2. We're starting to earn a little bit more XP, but the coach trust isn't coming easy, and that just means that this next practice will have to be perfect, where that's a great start to our tight end. Keaton David has not been bad for us, and I'm just going to scramble on this next play for a few. Compared to the rain, this is much better. I like that we're indoors again, and it looks like I'm going to be able to take this side of the field for an easy 25. Those are the plays I'm going to have to make if I'm ever going to become the starter, but I wasn't prepared for the blitz, and it's going to hurt us. They are sending in pressure so quick. I think the only benefit for playing for a bad school is I'm also facing off against a defense that isn't the best. I've been scrambling a lot, and it looks like I'm going to take off for a touchdown.
Shit, it's a superstar every team, bro. You just gotta find that nigga.
No. Is this it? This is it!
Those are the types of runs that are going to make me a second stringer. But then I follow it up with terrible passes that weren't meant to go that far anyway, and that's why I have to scramble. I will say, because of that long touchdown run, my coach trust has gone up a lot, but Scott Dallas dropping the ball doesn't help, and there's not that many reps left in this practice. They're all over the wide receiver screen. But at the end of the day, I'm very happy with how things went, and we will take it. That gives me enough XP to finally upgrade my player, but the only one I have enough for is read and react, and that is not worth it. At least we're still coming for that second string spot, and who knows, maybe one of the guys in front of us will get injured, which couldn't hurt us because we just got annihilated by our rivals, Western Kentucky. I never got to see the field in the game, but the backup did, so that's why it's so important we keep earning coach trust. And I could either upgrade our acceleration or throw power, but I'm going to have to take the boost to our throw power. It won't make much of a difference yet, but I do want to attempt at least one deep shot, and that is on the money. Maybe having a little bit more throw power will make a difference, because that was an amazing throw, and confidence is through the roof. I am coming for that second string spot. Now they're giving us 4 verticals, and I have to roll out because they will instantly get sacks, but sometimes it opens up lanes like this to take, so I cannot complain, and we're continuing to improve our stats more and more. Now I'm going to take this slant, and are you serious? That would have been an interception just because it was an accurate ball, and that's why I am going to keep keeping it on the ground. That's a good juke move. Go down. And I guess on this next play, we're just going to beam it to freshman receiver Dalen Maurice. All around, this has been another solid practice, and we're going to have that route over the middle to Malachi Harris. But I am so terrified of taking a sack because our offensive line isn't the best. I'm going to set my feet and find David, our tight end, who goes all the way to the 5. Boys, I have never played this well. I am normally blind whenever I'm throwing the ball, but we have worked our way up to like 350 coach trust, and this is going to be even more. Words cannot express how excited I am to see how much we are getting, and I didn't take the halfback screen. It wasn't open, but that was the right decision. Right now is a 47 overall. I'm in my bag until that throw. Well, that kind of kills all the momentum I've built up, but we can take this 4 verticals route, and I was scared that number 23 was about to play it. We're not going to have enough XP to get another upgrade after this practice, but but we have put up some really good numbers with throws like this one too. And if we continue to lose, moving up the depth chart won't be as difficult. Every single time you take a loss, it gets a little bit easier. This is the final rep of this practice where Gibbs gets a 10, and that's the most XP I've ever gotten from one. I've had the lock in, but now we're halfway there, and I highly doubt that we're going to beat Vanderbilt. You know what? It really wasn't that bad, so maybe NKU does have a bright future, but not with Davis Brennan, as he threw 3 interceptions again. We don't really deserve it, but next up is a bye week, so I'm about to have back-to-back practices, and you've got to be kidding me. We are outside in the rain again. These are always so much harder, and we seem to struggle in them more, but I'm going to be able to take off. There's a linebacker to beat, and that's dumb. I literally just ran into a guy that weighs like 100 pounds more than me, but at least I didn't fumble the ball. And you gotta love how Scott Dallas just decided to ruin this play. He's a junior wide receiver. He should not be making mistakes like that, but we're gonna get the touchdown, and he immediately made up for his mistake, so I can't even complain about it. We're now up to 500 coach trust, so we just need 300 more, but I've not thrown an interception in a while, so I know one has got to be coming sometime soon, and that is what scares me a ton. Those turnovers lose you like 200 coach trust, so you really can't make any mistakes. And this rain practice is going a lot better than the last one, but our running back is in my way, so I simply had to step up in the pocket, and that coverage is not going to stick with Scott Dallas. I'm starting to realize that the cornerbacks on this team aren't very good, just like our wide receivers, and Calvin Gibbs continues to run it down the field, so I'll gladly give him another halfback toss where this one isn't going anywhere. I have earned enough XP to get another upgrade for my player though, so that's a great thing. And look at Jay Stun II. He came so close to reaching the end zone for us, and there's not that many reps left. I think I'm just going to take off here, and the ball is loose. We just lost like 100 coach trust, and that's what I'm saying. I cannot make like any mistakes. That's going to probably be a pick, so it's a good thing nobody understood where that ball was going. And I love the 4 verticals play call, but that's an interception. This is the downfall I was talking about, and I just messed up at the end of this practice. Things were going so smoothly for us, but now I'm just going to run around, put a guy in a spin cycle, and we'll take the yardage. With 5,000 XP, I want to spend it, but none of these upgrades are really that good, so we're just going to advance the week. And this is the second time that we're taking Chick Magnet. I've already been able to increase my throw power by 8, and this indoor practice is exactly what we need. I might lock in and not say a thing for a while, just so we can hopefully get some upgrades. I already know that this isn't going to be the best of ideas, but I want to go with the deep shot with my new throw power, and it's dropped. But that could have very easily been an interception, and I don't know why I thought we could pull it off, but I'm still going to scramble for a ton of yardage, and I almost broke free. I feel like we're only a couple of practices away from challenging to be the backup, but if we're going to do that, I'm not able to make any mistakes, and I'm going for the deep post. I have to get yards here. It looks like they're bringing a lot of pressure on this one, so I'm just going to have to run out to the right. R1 is open. He needs to keep making his route, and then I tried to throw it to him, but we fumbled. I was ready to give it to him, but by the time I hit the button, we were already past the line of scrimmage, and there's another mistake, but that fumble only lost us like 65 coach trust, so it's not as bad as the last one. I'm not sure what the difference is, but I can't complain about it. Robbins gets his first catch of this video, and I've been in Wildcat for the last 2 minutes, but they won't hike the ball, so I have to quit practice. And losing a rep there really stings because every last one of them counts. This halfback screen ended up going pretty well for us, but I always know that they're going to pick up on it on the second one, as Calvin Gibbs isn't going to be able to get very far. I'm trying my best to get us a position battle, and I have to just set my feet, make the right read, but it's still off target. I'm sure when I watch this back, I'm going to see other stuff that was open and be upset about that, and you all never fail to let me know in the comments when there's a read I didn't take, but I did see that one to Scott Dallas, who goes down at the one, and I would have loved credit for a touchdown there, but I did just notice that I don't need as much coach trust anymore to become the backup. So that's what I'm saying. As we lose games, it's not going to be as difficult to move up the depth chart, and we just got to keep earning some XP. Realistically, we're 1 or 2 good practices away from a position battle, but for now I have to watch my team suffer some more losses. And Davis Brennan must have gotten hurt or injured because Colton Reynolds has been out there all day, but the backup only got us 3 points, so he didn't play that well, and it feels like my chance has to be coming soon. These indoor practices are the ones that we have to take advantage of, and I'm going to instantly scramble on this one. But why they're so important is because we don't play well whenever we have to go out in the rain, and their coverage is clamping us up. I don't know why I even tried to complete a pass there, but it ended up not backfiring for us. And I'm just going to roll out here and try to take the deep post. It actually got open, and look at that pass. That's going to boost up so much coach trust. I just have to be smart with the rest of practice. I have been working for this all season, and we have them beat deep. That ball is going to be underthrown though, and I don't know why I tried to take it, but that was not the right decision there. I went for the big play, and you can't do that with a quarterback that's throwing stats are as bad as mine are at this point in my career, but I feel like I've bounced back because I'm back at about 500 coach trust at this point in practice, and I'm going for another deep post, which is caught. I'm really surprised that those are working for us. They're very risky reads to make with my throw accuracy, but I am desperate to compete for the backup job. I just want to get out there on the field, and that would get me 1 step closer, but this wide receiver screen is boxed, and with 5 reps left, they're running man-to-man coverage, coverage, so Dalen Maurice gets open on that route again. But he's not been able to burn him for a touchdown yet, and we're going to take our tight end as Keaton David takes it to the 10. I have bounced back from that very dumb interception in practice, but we're still going to need quite a bit of coach trust to earn a position battle, and we keep earning more XP. Upgrade-wise, though, there's nothing that I really want to take, and I'm hoping that we lose to the Redhawks, because maybe then I won't need as much coach trust, and we honestly put up a good fight, but they still won by 13. This next practice could change everything, though, and going into it, I am tempted to take a 1-game boost, but instead, I decided to save our XP, and of course, this one is out in the rain, but that was a good catch from Scott Dallas running for a lot, and they want us to run that play back, but it's always very risky, so I'm glad he slipped off of him, and we've certainly opened up practice in the rain the right way. Now I'm going to scramble if they're not going to send that much pressure, and it looks like this is going to be man coverage, so we should have freshman wide receiver Dalen Maurice, who doesn't always make the catch, but when he does, he seems solid, and he did not get open there, but he still brought it in. We've gotten kind of lucky with this practice, but he slips on that route, so there's the bad things that start to happen to us in the rain, but it's going to be okay, as long as at least some of our receivers can end up holding onto the ball, and he got in quickly. With 11 reps left, I got a play that I really like. With this play action, I'm able to roll out our wheel routes open. It worked perfectly, and it's going to be caught. That's going to get us enough coach trust so I can end practice now, and I'll be challenging for the second string spot next week. It looks like Davis Brennan has been starting recently, but he's still been struggling, so sooner or later I'm going to get to take some snaps, but I have to win this position battle first, and there's still nothing out here that I want to spend our hard-earned XP on. This is the first position battle of my career, so I'm hoping that it goes really well, but with an inaccurate ball, that is not how I would like things to start out, and I might need to run. I have a feeling it's going to be almost impossible to get 5,000 points, so I'm going to take a deep shot like this one, and because it was caught, it gave us like 500, but I don't think that's going to be enough. I'm going to have to continue to take those, and interceptions aren't a penalty. I think I'm going to have to become lucky or something if I ever want to become the backup on this team, and against this coverage, we should have just taken it deep early on. That's going to be underthrown, but it worked out. I feel like I'm playing pretty well, but we've only put up 1,000 points, and that was another off-target ball, but it almost led to a catch, and then it was dropped. I'm just going to go for the deep shot. We have to take some deep ones, and that's going to be picked. Well, this did not go how I was hoping it would. It seems almost impossible, and unless the bonuses on these last few plays are just insane, there's no way that we're getting there. I feel like it's supposed to be 1,000, but it's glitched out at 4,600. It was never that high on previous Road to Glory, so I don't know what to do about that. I don't know if it has to do with the difficulty or what, but I've always played on Heisman. For this last rep, we have to get a touchdown, but I doubt it's going to get us 3,000 points, and I still got a long way to go. Versus Western Michigan, we're going to lose by 35, so maybe that'll make the position battle easier to win, and apparently how much coach trust you need is all dependent on the difference in overalls, and apparently I still need 4,600, so that means we're going to go for big passing plays. I'm not sure how we're going to pick this up ever, but eventually I've got to earn the backup spot, so we will figure it out, and that run only got us 110 coach trust of the 4,600 that we're going to need.
Your word is formaldehyde.
Can you use it in a sentence?
As you're sitting in your basement, you hit your vape, but then your mom walks in, freaks out, and starts listing the toxic chemicals you could be inhaling into your body, like formaldehyde, which she singles out because it's the same chemical used to preserve your Uncle Rico's funky-smelling taxidermied fox. Formaldehyde. Vaping can expose you to toxic chemicals like formaldehyde. No need to spell it out any more than that. Brought to you by the Real Cost and FDA.
It seems like these short underneath passes don't do that much either. I know you get more as the practice goes on, but either way, I think we're just going to have to go for some deep plays, and I don't think this is going to work out, but it looks like that's dropped. Let's just say that I'm trying my best to pull stuff off, but there's only so much I can do versus this deep. And with 8 reps remaining, we're going to go with the deep shot, and that ball is put perfectly on the money. But my teammate dropped it, so it's not going to matter, and we're going to go back in his direction where Maurice gets it into the end zone. That closes us in on 1,000, but we're going to need like 5 more of those plays in these final 5 plays, so that's not happening. And it might be a while before I'm able to earn the starting job at Northern Kentucky, but we're just going to continue to upgrade our player and hope for the best. I think as you become a higher overall, these position battles become a lot easier for you. And remember, I started this episode as a 45, so it would make sense that we're not going to have an easy time becoming back. If anything, we've gotten a lot of XP out of this, so hopefully that helps us upgrade our player even farther. And I'm about to get used to seeing the failed sign. There's also no way that we beat Northern Illinois, but I guess I was wrong because with 20 22 seconds left. We are only down by 3, and Brennan's going to throw it to Maurice, who goes to the end zone. It's going to be so hard to earn the starting job now that we're going to upset number 18, undefeated Northern Illinois at home, and that is it. I'm glad that that was an ESPN Classic that I didn't even get to play. And there's not many upgrades we can take, but this one will put our overall up by 2. So that seems to make these position battles easier, and we just have to do that a few more times, and then I think it will be manageable to pull off. Obviously, it won't be easy, but if we get lucky with some deep shots, I could see us having success. And we have enough XP to probably get us to like a 55 or 57 overall. This is going to be a big play from Maurice. So I'm starting to have some hope, and it's just going to take some more time to get the job than I thought. I think we could still become the starter by the end of this video because the starter is a much higher overall than the backup, and I might as well slow things down because I haven't gotten to use this feature yet. It looks like that's going to let that route get open, but you all can tell that the receivers I'm working with sometimes aren't the best, and other times it is me that's the problem because that was not the right read, and this one's also going to be caught. Even if there's no chance that we win this position battle yet, I'm proud of how far we've come, and we're going to get a route bounce as well to Harris, which is going to go to the end zone. So I'm starting to realize that if we could probably put up like 3,000 points, and because of all of these drops, there's been a lot of them that we've lost out on. We have enough XP to upgrade myself twice, so we're just going to need to get lucky in what becomes available, and there's only one that we can take here, but deep ball is going to put us up by 3 overalls, so now all it takes is 3,600 XP, and this is something we could manage, but a drop on the first play into an interception is a terrible start, and with this one being outside in the rain, I think we're going to struggle immensely. There's almost no chance I get this job. What we could do, though, is get a lot of XP, so I'm hoping we're able to pick some up, and because almost nobody's been able to make a catch, we are not doing too hot. At the end of the day, there's not much I can do about it. I've been trying to make the right reads, and when you're out here in the rain, players are obviously going to struggle to bring it in, so I did run a little bit just to get some XP, but this is going to be by far the worst result that we've ever gotten out of a position battle, and you know what? I'm just going to take off and also stiff arm this guy where the ball just popped loose. I'm hoping that we can all just forget about this one like it never happened because I am not proud of this result, and we only got 490 XP. The Norse are also coming off of a huge win, so even though we don't have that much to play for at this point in the season, it would be nice to see my program improve a little bit, and I don't know what's changed, but Davis Brennan does not want to lose the starting job. I'm not even competing for it, I'm going for the backup one, but all of a sudden the senior wants to play way better, and we have to get blessed with another +3 upgrade. You know what? I feel like we got pretty lucky because this one's only going to cost us 3,000, and I've improved a ton in my freshman season. This is the first time where I feel like this position battle is actually obtainable. It's going to be very difficult in order to pull it off. We're going to need a lot of big plays, but again, I feel like it is a possibility if we could get lucky, and that's not it. I think we're just going to have to go for some deep shots, hoping for the best. I know that we have a quick wide receiver over there, and with that catch from junior Scott Dallas, we just got a huge boost, but they got it instantly, and I had no chance of ever getting that ball off. That is so unfortunate. I'm looking for the deep post again. This throw is going to be made on the run, but they keep giving me this same play over and over, and I'm not the biggest fan of it, to be honest. We still need about 2,000 more with only 8 reps left, so that means going for the house, and if I'm quick enough, we could end up reaching like the 10-yard line here, but realistically, Scott Dallas is just going to have to get open and take this to the crib, and he drops it. I've tried, boys, but I don't think this one's going to go as well as I thought. That is a touchdown, so we are halfway to becoming the backup, but we still need a lot to go our way, and I'm rolling out, throwing on the run where Gibbs brings this one into the 10. I think in order to actually win, though, we're going to have to get some more touchdowns, so I'm going to go deep again. Come on, Scott Dallas, make the catch. And there's only a few plays left. The multiplier does go up for these, but unless they result all in touchdowns, we're probably not winning. What I've realized is we can come pretty close, though, and if we play exceptionally well, we could get even more, because I have made some mistakes, but we still have to get our overall up a little bit, and it's another failed position battle. At the end of the day, things are still starting to look up, and it's our first snow game where Central Michigan went out and beat us by 20. Now the coach trust I would have needed to earn the second string has gone down a ton, and I feel like I made myself way too low of an overall. I'd love to get this Mr. Fire upgrade, but we're not going to have 8,000, and we might as well just jump into our final game, because after this, there's like 6 practices, and I am going to win the backup spot. I might not be able to play in any games, but it would set us up nicely for next year, and my only goal in these position battles going forward is to just send up prayers and hope that we can rack up a ton of XP. It's not going to be easy to do whenever they give us quick slant plays, and it's still dropped, but I'm sure I'll find a way around it as I've rolled out to this left side of the field, and I'm going to take it all the way to the crib. That gets us 400, and if we scored a touchdown on every play, we would have enough, but that's just not realistic to expect because I had a bunch of bad plays in a row, and we just can't get anything going. I went for deep shot after deep shot, and it just did not pan out. We're going to get some XP, but this is going to go down as yet another failed positioning battle throughout this year, and I was hoping that it would go better. Maybe we could end it off with some big plays, and that's straight to safety. I feel like I'm letting you boys down by not being able to win the starting job, but I've given myself a really hard challenge, and things are only going to get more difficult from here? Well, I feel like I've hit the jackpot because flying highs here, it's only 3,000 and it puts our overall up by 3. So now we're within 8 overalls of the backup quarterback, and we could definitely win this next position battle. You know that I have to go with the deep shot on this first play, as we're just going to go up to Scott Davis and he is going to drop it. Only 2,600 points. I know it's still a lot, but this is far more manageable than the 4,600 it was like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and we've cracked the code. As long as we continue to upgrade our player, these are going to get easier and easier, but maybe we could end it here. Keaton David goes to the end zone, and we just need 2,000 more coach trust. This is something that we could pull off. The deep post is open, and that is going to be caught. I am so nervous now. This is an actual chance to pull this off. Come on, we have got to get this. Keaton David's open, and he is going to drop it. We're about halfway through our plays now, and you know what? We just have to trust Scott Dallas, who's gotten us here, and that's another catch from him. I've been surprised at how quick some of our receivers are, but that's going to be another. I know that our cornerbacks are slow, but I wasn't expecting them to be that slow, and there's just 5 reps left. Surely we're going to be able to pull this one off. I'm going to scramble on this play because I didn't see anything I liked, and come on, we have got to get some separation with that corner route, which we drop. 3 plays left now. This is literally it. This is the run that we've needed. I feel like I messed up this one, and I just panicked there. I didn't know what to do. I'm going to try and fit it over this window to Scott Dallas, and he goes to the 2, but that's not enough. There's 1 rep left. We have to pick this up, and that is going to be dropped. We had the backup job won there, but now we're going to have to try and get it in these last few weeks, and I'm really regretting starting my player at such a low overall. With Chick Magnet, he is going to go up 2 more, so that should make things easier, and these stats keep getting better. Alright, this has got to be the one. We only need 2,200, but that was not a great start, and they've already instantly gotten in pressure, so I'm just going to scramble for as much as I can. We had a lot of touchdowns that we probably wouldn't normally have on the last one. That was literally the one that could have done it, but I have to be confident in my teammates to make the plays and get us there again, and that all starts with this being a good throw. You know that I want to go back to junior Scott Dallas if he's able to get open like he did here, but he hasn't been going for as big of gains on this one, and I'm going to wait for the route bounce. Come on, buddy, run deep. That's what we needed, and he dropped it. I feel like this could be a failed run. We had such a good attempt the last time, but this is going to be caught, and if he wouldn't have fallen over, that would have definitely gone for a lot more. I have to eventually get lucky, though. Surely by the end of this video, I won't be just the 3rd stringer, and with 5 reps left, I'm going to roll out, take the deep post, and that's caught. Alright, this is another manageable one. Man-to-man coverage, though. Come on, Scott Dallas, just get by him. And if they don't give us much time, there's not much I can do. I have to hope that we can get the deep post here, and they've gotten in pressure. I had to make the throw in time. Alright, about 500 more with 2 reps left. That is not going to get open, and sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. That was kind of just a blind read. This one is not going to be caught, so once again, we have failed, but we have a couple more attempts before the end of the year, and you know what? We didn't finish last in our division either, so maybe this team has a pretty bright future if I could to start this position battle. We have the play call that I like, where I can throw it up to Scott Dallas, and that is going to be on the money. So that's exactly what we needed. We already have almost 500 points, and we just have to play it smart. Seeing drops like that is so frustrating because we're going to need every last point in this situation, but at the end of the day, this is still much better than it up, because that's what works out best for us. Scott Dallas again is actually become the starter. The deep post is open, and the safety is not getting back to it, but he somehow made a Superman dive, and that's unfortunate. We almost had another touchdown. I really thought we had him, but at the end of the day, it's okay. Keaton David reels that in, and we just need like 800 more points. This is very manageable. It's like 1 touchdown and a few big plays away. This is definitely going to help us, and I have got to win this starting job. The corner route did not get open though, and with a few reps left, I'd rather take a deep shot to the end zone than take the halfback here, and that's going to be knocked down. Almost caught though. That would have been insane if he brought that in. We could have used it so bad. I think I'm just going to have to run for it on this play because there's no way I was going to be able to set my feet and make a throw. So once again, we need about 500 with 2 reps left, and the deep post is not going to be. That stings so much. I highly doubt we're going to be able to reach the end zone on this play unless I'm able to set my feet, throw it up, and it's just not enough. We're so close to becoming the backup, and I think it's a lock if we can get 1 more good roll on an upgrade. We did is we're going to be able to boost our overall by 3 more, but now there's no more position battles available for me. It says, do you want to advance to next season? And I thought we had a couple more in us, but now we have to beat out a freshman who's a worse overall. But I guess it's all good. I didn't realize we improved this much in year 1, and that's a huge jump, so we're going to be able to go for the starting job pretty quickly. As a team, we've also improved to a 75 overall, and because of all the work I put in last year, I am starting season 2 competing for the backup spot, where that's a good start. If you watched the first episode, there were practices like this practice where I had to get 4,600 points, but now just 1,000 seems much more manageable, and I need to start completing some more passes, but I can't. I don't know what's happening, but I'm starting to really struggle, and our tight end is going to get open. I put that one perfectly on the money, so Evan Carter Jr. reeled that one in, and I just have to wait for another player to get open. I keep forgetting I'm not the fastest, but I am able to run it to like the 15, and midway through practice, I'm halfway to where I need to be to win this position battle, but it's dropped, and Jay Stun II is starting to really frustrate me, so we're going over to Scott Dallas. He's a senior this year, so it's the last season that I'm going to be able to throw the ball to him, and currently I've been throwing the ball to the other team, so with a few reps left, I still need to get more points, and I'm just going to simply do it with my legs. Just 150 with 2 reps left, nothing too difficult. We should be able to hit this deep post, but the game's saying I need to complete another pass, and that is what I'm going to do to Scott Dallas. I should have had no trouble winning this position battle after what we went through last year, and it feels so good to finally be the backup. My job's not done though, because I want to make sure that I become the starter, and Colton Reynolds is only going to hold that position for so long. I might even step onto the field for the first time in this game, because Penn State's playing at our place for whatever reason, and it was a blowout, but I never got an opportunity, so I still haven't put up a single collegiate stat, and I don't think I'm going to have any issues in practice versus this defense. Even though it's in the rain, the worst thing I'm going to deal with is players dropping the ball, and surprisingly, I haven't experienced it yet, but I am expecting it to happen. With 18 reps left, I do want to try to throw up a deep prayer to Scott Dallas, and that was on the money. So you know that I'm already building up coach trust, and I'm also making sure I make the right decisions. I made so many mistakes as a freshman that caused me to not be the starter that now I'm not doing it. But as I say that, I've thrown my first pick, and I have to start over with coach trust. So that's not the best thing in the world, but we're going to hit this deep post, and Dalen Maurice is going to reel it in. I don't think I'm going to show as much in practice this year as I did last season, but that ball was thrown right to James. It wasn't meant to go to him, and I got bailed out in that situation. But ever since this practice got off to a good start, I've been struggling, and it continues. Interception after interception is not a good look for me at this point in my career, and I still have to upgrade my player a ton, so I need to be racking up the XP as well, which we do here. At the end of the day, I am closing in on 4,000, so I should have a big upgrade coming soon, and Jay Stun II is going to take it to the house. So the sophomore receiver finally did something right, but I'm still far away from challenging for the starting spot. As for potential upgrades, there's none on here that are worth me spending coach points, and maybe I'll get an opportunity versus my favorite team. I get to be on the field to hold the kicker's balls here, and we're losing by so much, but that's the only time I've seen the field. We did force the fumble here, so I was hoping I'd be out there, but it's still Colton Reynolds, and on 3rd and 10, he actually looks good finding Evan Carter Jr. It's starting to hit me that my coach might not like me, but I'm coming for that starting job anyway, and it shouldn't be hard since these stats are not good. I'm also going to get the upgrade that I really wanted, as this is going to boost me up to a 71 overall, so I only need 200 coach trust to earn a position battle, and as long as I don't turn the ball over in this practice, that won't be that difficult to get to, but it hurts I took a sack there, and I've simply got to lock in because I want to make sure I become the starter. Jay Stun II goes to the 3, so that's going to make up for my mistake, and if I don't see anything that could get open, I'm just going to scramble to this left side of the field. I've been doing my best to get the ball out as quick as possible, and Dalen Maurice drops it, so he's been very frustrating to throw it to, but I have some other good receivers, and it just hurts whenever I throw an inaccurate ball. They've also gotten in pressure immediately, but somehow our tight end was able to reel that one in, and with the comeback route, I'm off target. You're probably wondering if I'm anywhere near what I need for coach trust to get a position battle, and with throws like this, I think I am, as Evan Carter goes to the 5, but it turns out I still need like 25 more, and I'm going to take this wheel route. This could be it. That's going to go for a lot, but Dalen Maurice did fall over, so I think I'm going to need to complete one more pass, and this should do it for us. Next week, I'm going to have a chance to become the starter, but first I have to watch us take on Vanderbilt, and the weather's not good for this one. That might give us a chance of winning, and once again, I had to hold for this kick, so I'm contributing, even if it's not with me taking snaps. Yeah! Lead going into the half. With about a minute left, though, we do find ourselves trailing by 3 points to Vanderbilt, and all I can do is watch from the sidelines where Colton Reynolds goes over to his flat, and Gibbs is going to take it into the end zone. Calvin Gibbs puts us up by 4, and our defense has stepped up as they forced 2 sacks in a row, and they're going to the 3rd. It probably isn't good that we're about to beat Vanderbilt, though, because that might hurt my chances of becoming the starter, and I'm glad to see a position battle still available. I had to attempt the impossible as a freshman and get like 4,600 points in these, so getting 1,000 is nothing, and all it took was me improving my overall, but I had no time there. That could have been a big play. It's why I roll out almost instantly on almost all of these. That's a good throw, and I have taken a lot of deep shots to Scott Dallas, but again, they're getting in pressure almost instantly, so I need to make sure I get this ball out a bit quicker, and that's pick. As the reps dwindle down, I am a little bit intimidated because of how quick they're generating pressure, and my defense must not want me to become the starter because they've been playing so well against us. I don't think I'm going to make it happen this week unless we can pull something off like this where I'm going to go deep and it's dropped. That is unfortunate because I wanted my first start to be against our rivals, Western Kentucky, so I'm really trying to do it, but Jay Stun II just dropped that ball, and I keep going for these deep shots that they're all over. With 3 reps left, it's going to be very hard to make this a reality, but maybe maybe we can. And we just need multiple big completions in a row. There's only one route I can take here, and they guarded it. I'm gonna have to go back to the same receiver because, again, unless I score a touchdown, it's not happening, and we don't. So I failed to take the starting job, and I hate that I don't get to play in this game. We're honestly losing so badly that you'd assume they'd put me the backup out there, as they're gonna almost get another pick. And finally, with a minute and a half left, I have my opportunity where I am off target. That's not a good start, and I can't make hot routes to any of these receivers, so I have to make sure that I keep that in mind. I'm playing with backups, but I found tight end Bo James there, and nobody's getting open versus this man-to-man coverage, so that's a sack. I was just inches away from escaping the pocket, but apparently that was enough to trip me up. And here on 2nd and 16, I'm just going to feed it to Malachi Harris. Now they have me hitting the halfback screen, so it's not a hard read to make, but that was the extent of the first minutes I'd ever hit, and I lost coach trust, so next week I have to earn another position battle. It's a good thing that we're going into a bye, because I'm frustrated and I got to get my coach trust out. I literally have no time back there. It's like my team doesn't want to see me succeed. I'm not sure what I should be doing, and I'm honestly intimidated facing off against this defense, so I've just been running for my life to try and put up coach trust. It's kind of worked, but at the same time I still need a lot more, and those drops are not helping. I just want to challenge for the starting job again. I had no idea that it was going to be this difficult. I already went through my entire freshman year without getting any playing time, so I don't want to go through that experience again, and evidently I just haven't put up much coach trust in this practice, which is frustrating, but we need more. Unless I can throw for like a touchdown or something, I don't think I'm going to have enough, but that looks like it could be it. And why did Scott Dallas fall over? Come on, we just have to get a little bit more, and Jay Stun the second makes the catch, so my hopes are high. They've sent in a blitz, and I probably could have taken the tight end with that route, but I was scared to stand in the pocket, so I just ran. At the end of the day, I did get enough, so I have earned another position battle, and there's a lot of upgrades I could take beforehand, but none of them improve my speed, so I don't think I'm going to do it. The acceleration one's going to be hard to pass up on though, so I'm still going to think about it. And in this position battle, my only goal is to make sure I become the starter. I'm going to have to take our flat Devin Carter Jr., the tight end, and that just doesn't get us many points. The only way to have success in these is to make the deep plays, so I'm going to go for some big reads like this, and that's where he makes the catch. As you can see, we are 3/10 of the way there, and our deep post is open to Jay Stun the second, so I've been pleasantly surprised that he's actually been catching the ball, and I am not going to outrun our defensive lineman, but maybe I am. That gets us a bit. I could have sworn that that wasn't going to end well for us, but it looks like that route does get open, and Dalen Maurice is starting to drive me crazy. Please make this catch, buddy. With just those two alone, I'd probably be at about 1,000 right now, but instead I'm struggling, and I don't think I'm going to win it. After going through the stuff I went through as a freshman, I can't believe I'm about to lose another position battle, but I have to make something happen here, and Scott Dallas is the perfect player. Me and him think on the same page, and it looks like they've sent a blitz, but it's not going to matter. I had Maurice, which is not the guy I should be trying to feed the ball to. Here is the last rep of practice, and I'm off target. We should have definitely won that pair, but because we didn't, I have to start MAC conference play on the bench, and it looks like we're taking on Buffalo. At the end of the first quarter, it's 0-0, but to open up the second, I get to hold the kicker's balls again, and we might win this first game. The team's playing well, and our defense has given up 0 points, so to my surprise, it's 20-0, and I've gotten to be out there on the field more than I thought I would. I know I didn't put up any quarterback stats, but I love the fact that we could go undefeated in MAC play and make the conference championship, so I just need to earn the starting job now, and none of these are going to be some good long-term games. I was so locked in at the end of my freshman year because I wanted to win the job, and now I have a chance to, but I'm just off target, so I don't understand what's up with all the struggling. We need to get so many more points, and just 1,000 should not be this difficult, but I feel like nothing's going the way that I need it to, and maybe this is where we finally complete a pass. It was about time I was able to hook up with one of my receivers, and now I'm going to have the tight end up the seam. So the 4 vertical play call is perfect, and that is going to be a deep bomb. This is the one. We're finally having a good practice. I'm going with another deep bomb. Why not? This could be the end of it all, but that did not result in a catch, and I'm just going to have to roll out here, see if anybody gets open, and you know what? I saw Calvin Gibbs on the side of my eye, and we're just 1 or 2 more passes away from this all being done where that isn't held on to. So it's unfortunate to see, but now we're just going to hit done for that one, and it turns out that was not enough yardage, so we're going to take this slant, and he holds on again. I can finally say that we have won the position battle. It is all over, and I'm going to be the starter for NKU. I've been waiting on this moment for a season and a half, but this is still just the start of my career, and I hope we can take down Kent State. This is the first start in my career, and I think I'm going to open us up with a big play as I'm going to find tight end Evan Carter Jr. So I'm loving how things are looking so far for the Norse. Calvin Gibbs goes nowhere though, and on 2nd and 12, it looks like they're going with man-to-man coverage, so we're going to have Scott Dallas. It's very important that I don't make any mistakes in this one, and I've stared down the deep route for too long, so that one was definitely on me. I had plenty of time back there, but I don't this time, and since they got in some instant pressure, it is 3rd and 33. There's no way we pick this up. I'm also set to lose my starting job with -70 coach trust right now, but Calvin Gibbs gets a big gain, and with a read option run, I guess I'm going to have to keep it in my hands, but it's going to be hard to get around all these defenders. I must have gotten hurt because on 3rd and 2, the backup is is out there on the field taking my spot. And that's so frustrating because he's probably trying to become the starter again, and I'm just going to have to step up to midfield. It's nice that we have a lead, but I want to throw for touchdowns, and Calvin Gibbs is going to take this one for 10. That was a big play for us, so I want to run it back, but they were all over me this time around, and I'm not going to go down with either of those. I broke 2 tackles, and I'm about to get hurt. I did not learn my lesson from the first quarter, and on the 2nd and 5, that will be brought in by Robbins. So we have 9 first downs to Kent State 0, and I'm just going to continue to make the smart read. It's very important that I don't get benched after this performance. I have to earn coach trust, and after taking those sacks early on, I'm getting pretty close to being back into the positives, but I'd love to throw for a touchdown to finish off this drive, and that's caught. I can always lean on tight end Evan Carter Jr. to bring it in, and then we got a punt return for a touchdown. So with 34 seconds left in the half of my very first start, we're up 21-0, and we're just going to play this passively to take it to the end of the second quarter. However, to open up the second half, Kent State returned the opening kickoff for a touchdown, so now that's 2 returns in just 1 game, and it's on me to lead my team back down the field to get us some more points. But all of a sudden, it's 3rd and 10. We're going with the wide receiver screen, and Jay Stun the second isn't going to make it there. My defense would hold it down though, because by the time that we have the ball back, we're still up by 14, and I'm very happy with how this first game's gone for us. I'm going to try to fit this into that window over to Evan Carter, but I'm experiencing a lot of drops from my teammates, and he can't let that happen again. Remember, my goal in this series is to win a Heisman Trophy and a national championship with Northern Kentucky, and I'm not sure if that's going to be possible with this roster, but we're going to do our best. I think for my sophomore year, what's most important is that I keep the starting job #1 and that we make a bowl game as well, so that's going to be our 2 goals, but I feel like I can play things pretty smart, and even on the hardest difficulty, I'm not having many issues tearing apart this Kent State defense, but they are a 68 overall. They're the easiest MAC school, but that's what makes them great for a debut, is I'm going to step up to get the first down, go down at the 5, but I'm laying there holding my chest injured. I haven't been put back out there until the 4th quarter, where I could still get a touchdown, but that was marked a little bit short, so we're going to have to do it on this play, and that's dropped. I feel like we need to run it back because I don't want to hand it off, and it looks like I am going to have somebody open. So Bo James gets me my 2nd career touchdown pass ever, and this was a great game for my first start. You can't ask for much more than that because we're already halfway to making a bowl, and I even won player of the game, so I'm going to be able to upgrade myself a ton hopefully. It looks like I have about 8,000 XP, and there's a lot of different ones I could take, but I think we're just going to go with hold the front door for now. It's also important to note that I'm still going to be grinding away in practice mode even if I don't show as many plays now, because I need to build up my coach trust, and this is the only way for me to get XP, which in turn will also allow me to upgrade my player even farther. Now, an annoying issue that I'm still dealing with is our receivers just can't seem to catch, and there's another. That was literally a perfect example as I was saying it, and Dalen Maurice is driving me crazy. That is another one from him. I might as well just roll around and try to scramble instead. It's honestly been a terrible practice, and that was almost intercepted, but Jay Stun the second somehow slipped out of there. So I'm honestly just thankful that I haven't lost my starting job yet, but I can't act like I've gained any more trust from my coach either, because I'm just going to take a sack, and that means we're going back to almost 0. I'm not very proud about this practice, but at the end of the day, I'm still the starter, and what's important is how we do against the Redhawks, because the winner of this is going to have the #1 spot in our division. This is the most important game of my career so far if I do want to make the MAC championship this year, and I'm opening it up right by finding Dalen Maurice, who's streaking down the sideline, and he is gone. Normally, he cannot hold on to a catch to save his life, but it is already 7-0, and I cannot believe that we actually have a lead this early on against Miami. Now, that drop really hurts me because it could stall out the drive, but we'll see what happens on 3rd and 9, and I'm just going to take the hitch where Dalen Maurice isn't going to get enough. Our defense must be doing something right, though, because they've already forced another stop against the Redhawks, and we'll see what Calvin Gibbs can do with this handoff on the halfback draw, but he went nowhere, so it is 3rd and 4, and I'm just going to take my hitch to Jay Stun the second. What's cool about him and a lot of the guys on this offense is he's only a sophomore, so he's going to be around for a while. I have to go for the deep shot over the defense, but it almost led to me throwing an interception, and now my coach wants me to keep it on the ground where Calvin Gibbs goes nowhere. Even though he's like 6'3", he doesn't look the best, and I'm clearly not happy about that 3rd down play call. Our kick return units also let me down, because apparently they fumbled the kickoff after the Redhawks scored, which allowed them to get 2 touchdowns in a row. So all of a sudden, we find ourselves down by 7 to the Redhawks, and we are just crumbling. This is the most important game of our season, and we aren't going anywhere on this play. So Miami, Ohio is going to follow that drive up with another touchdown, and to end the half, we have to get some more points. They are pressing Jay Stun the second, though, so I'm going to try to roll it out and throw it up to him. That would be very risky to take. I don't want to turn the ball over, so I had to play it smart, and I like to get out of the pocket a lot of the time because I'm only 5'9", and I struggle to throw it over those offensive linemen. It looks like they have a corner blitz coming off of that left side, but that's fine. I'm going to find Brown up the middle. And why is our coach calling a timeout? That makes no sense. We need to burn clock, but he called another after he forced me to hand it off, and there's a touchdown. Dalen Maurice now has his 2nd of the day, and after Miami, Ohio opened up the 3rd quarter quarter by getting a field goal. We're going to have the ball, but we're down by 10, and we got to start putting up some points quick against the Red Hawks. I feel like I'm doing better in this quarterback road to glory compared to most of them because I'm used to turning the ball over like 50 times, and I'm not making those same mistakes anymore, which is weird because this is a very realistic one with my overall being low, and that's a laser. Now with the read option, I'm going to get to keep it in my hands, and I wish we were able to block for a bit longer, but I'm clearly not going to be a great scrambler versus these athletes, and that was so off target. They cannot hold us on this 3rd and 5 because then we're going to be forced to take a field goal. They've also sent in a blitz, and I'm just running for it myself, but I won't make it, and I'm also having a hard time getting up, so it's 4th and 3 where I have to watch it from the sidelines. Colton Reynolds steps up, and Calvin Gibbs is not going to make it there. By the time I'm back out there, we're still down by 10, and there's only 2 minutes remaining in this one, so it's going to be hard to come away with the win, but maybe we can pick some stuff up. And I really hate this 3rd down play call, which they're blowing up. Being able to change the plays would be nice. We somehow have to convert on 4th and 14, and that was almost picked. But I had to try to get us past the marker, and it looks like we did use our 3 timeouts to get a stop. But being down by 10 with 35 seconds left, that doesn't give me much hope, and I've got to work on getting the ball out just a little bit quicker. I felt like I had a pretty good day, but this is the final play of it, and I'm just going to be smart, take that over to Marks, and that's going to help my stats. It was always going to be hard to take down Miami, Ohio, and I feel like I did pretty well, but it still hurts to see us lose at home, and this stat line gets me 2,000 more XP. I gotta say, Dalen Maurice definitely carried, so maybe I'll start trusting him a little bit more during practice, but of course, the second I do that, he just drops the ball, and this could be an interception, which would really hurt my coach trust. I have got to be a little bit smarter, and I want to make sure I get enough XP so I can upgrade my player at least 2 more times, which is why I'm thrilled to say that this practice has gone pretty well, even if I have had to run for my life like this, and a lot of the passing plays that I've been forced to run just haven't gone for much. With a couple of reps left, I am going to try to get 1 or 2 more big plays, and it looks like it's going to come on the ground again where I'm just going to juke and then go down. So I've also earned a good bit of coach trust, and that's going to beat the man-to-man coverage, but I'm still missing a lot of passes, and that's why I'd love to upgrade my throw accuracy, but none of these things allow us to do that, and this was a terrible draw. We're actually favored to win our next matchup, but that's because we're playing Eastern Michigan, who hasn't won a game, and I better not mess things up here. I'm playing on a gray field for the first time in my career where I've already seen somebody get in, so I'm just going to have to evade the pressure, and that's going to go for a 1st down plus more. I even put a defender in a spin cycle, so my confidence is through the roof right now, and this one's simply going to go over to Calvin Gibbs where he didn't get the blocks that he needed, but he's still going to be able to pick up 15. Later, on the 2nd and 12, I'm hoping Dalen Maurice can create enough separation, and I put that ball in the right place, so we're flying down the field, and we're just 1 pass away from a touchdown. Eastern Michigan is 0-7, so theoretically this should be my best game yet with Scott Dallas holding on, and I don't think things could be going any better for me, but I am going to have to step up on this play, and I just have to get a block here, which is going to allow me to get 15. I know I started my career as the worst quarterback in the country, but it sure doesn't feel like it as I'm able to complete deep passes like this, and I really hope that Calvin Gibbs isn't able to get in with this carry because I want the touchdown for myself where I'm just going to keep it, and we could not get our block held, but it's not going to matter as I'm going to fight my way in anyway. If we could get another touchdown on this drive, this one's going to be quickly getting out of hand, and Dalen Maurice is open with that beautiful route he's run multiple times now, and he goes down, but not before getting us inside the Eagles red zone, and with some of these blocks I'm able to just step up and run for more. Now that we're down on the goal line, we really don't need that much more. I just got to thread the needle here, but Scott Dallas lets me down, and I'm going to have to hope for the best on the next one. I'm not going to be happy if all I get out of this drive is a field goal, so I'm going to have to extend the play and then find our tight end. It honestly doesn't even feel like I'm playing on a hard difficulty because of how well I'm doing. That is another good throw, and even when it's on Heisman, whenever you're facing off against an 0-7 team, you shouldn't be struggling much. This is a perfect chance to get back to being 500, and that would then allow us to probably make a bowl, but we're also probably still in the running for winning the MAC championship as well, and I have liked what I've seen so far, but this play goes bad, and they tacked on a penalty as well. It looks like we're going to have to settle for a field goal on this drive, but that still gives us a 3-possession lead, and I think I'm going to rely on Dalen Maurice to get open here where he did not. I'm perfectly fine with that though because we're playing really well, and this is only in my sophomore season where I have plenty of more time to upgrade my player, so we could get even better. I think the biggest issue that I'm going to run into in the future is whenever we face off against better teams, and coach wants me to just hand this one off so we can take it to the half, but Eastern Michigan would score pretty quickly, which gets it back within 10 points, and we still have 34 seconds. I've already thrown for over 260 yards in this half, but he doesn't want me to stop, and this is by far the best my stats have ever looked, but they are going to intercept us. Our wide receiver didn't create any separation there, so all of a sudden my stats don't look good, and we've choked because the Eagles have it back within just 3 points. I got a little bit too confident and cocky, and that's going to hurt us as I'm going to pitch it to the side, and that's going to be a fumble, so my coach trust keeps going down, and I honestly don't know what I was thinking here, but we're just lucky that the ball rolled all the way out of bounds. I've gotten a little bit frazzled, and I don't think we're going to pick up this third down, but we might have a chance here, and we're very fortunate that our defense was able to stop Eastern Michigan on their next drive. I can only play well for so long before I go back to making mistakes, and on this 3rd and 4, Scott Dallas is going to get just enough, which is honestly a big deal with a little bit of play action. I'm hoping I'm going to have the wheel route to him on the next one, and that is actually Evan Carter Jr., our tight end. If I'm watching this next play from the sidelines, though, I must have gotten injured whenever I got that ball out, so I'm not going to get credit for another touchdown, and I wouldn't get back out there until there's only a few minutes remaining. At this point, we are up by 7, but that's still only a 1-possession lead, and they almost picked it, so I've got to get that ball out quicker, but this 3rd and 8 halfback screen's dropped, and they're about to tie it up with a touchdown. I didn't think we would be in this situation, but now it's my time to clutch up and lead my team down the field. So that's a pretty solid start, and they're not going with man-to-man coverage. I'm very lucky that guy got tripped up, and I just need to get some blocks from my wide receivers. I still have more to go, and I need to go down now. I was not willing to risk fumbling in that situation, but this is some odd play calling, and to be honest, I'm going to run the clock down as far as I can before threading this needle over the Dalen Maurice, so I was content with us taking a field goal, but I thread the needle for the game-winning touchdown anyway, and that's the exact result that I was looking for. Outside of my dumb mistakes, I played pretty well, as I almost had 500 total yards of offense myself, and I feel like this is a much-deserved bye week, where I was hoping to upgrade my player, but all of these boosts are just for one game. As for my coach trust, it's only halfway there, but I am getting closer to being able to flip play calls, and eventually down the line, you'll see stuff like being able to use hot routes, so that's why it's extremely important that I continue to play through all these practices and don't make mistakes. One of my favorite plays they always seem to call is this bubble screen play where I know that I'm going to have Scott Dallas open, and touchdowns like that help me tremendously, but I have no time. It's like every time I do something right, then I make mistake after mistake, there's another, and I can confidently say that I am never taking that C route again because it hasn't worked in practice or in game. But one of them that does is this wheel route play where he is wide open in the end zone, and that is a touchdown. By the end of the practice, it was one of my best ones yet, and of these last 4 games, we just have to win 2 of them if we want to make a bowl. When it comes to winning the MAC conference, Miami, Ohio still needs to lose twice, and I feel like the only player upgrade I've been taking throughout my career is this deep ball one. I mean, it's gotten me up to a 77 overall, and I'm able to earn coach trust a lot easier, but what I'm wondering is if I'm able to take down Western Michigan, and for my first play of the day, I get to mix in the play action where I just get to roll out and then look over to Jace on the second for a big gain. By the way, I know this stadium's supposed to be on my old college's campus, but that does not look like it, because Northern Kentucky was the opposite with a very modern look to it, and there's no chance that they ever get a football team, but they really do need to add one because it would be sick. So far, I haven't had any issues on this first drive, and I'm starting to get really good at stepping up in the pocket and taking whatever they're going to give me, but coach doesn't want the ball in my hands on this play as I give it to Gibbs, and I have not been very impressed with Calvin Gibbs with what I've seen from him so far, but I definitely messed up there, not taking my checkdowns and getting sacked instead, so that drive's going to stall out, and we're going to have to settle for a field goal. Fortunately, our defense can't be the worst in the world because they've already gotten me the ball back, and since I can't call hot routes or anything, there's not much that I can do on 3rd and 17, which means the next time I have the ball in my hands, we're going to be trailing to Western Michigan, losing by 4, but we moved the chains on 3rd down, and I just noticed that stadium sign over in the left-hand corner says high school on it, but we're going to ignore it. This is a college-level team trying to compete in the MAC conference where this run goes absolutely nowhere, and on a 3rd and 20 with a few minutes left in the half, there's no chance that we convert it. Our defense has gotten it back for me pretty quick though, and I am not going to take that C route. Instead, I'm going to try to scramble because that's a better chance of working, and I would love to get a touchdown before the half so we are not losing to Western Michigan, but that's a bad throw. I really want to make a bowl with NKU, and we play a ranked school next, so this is definitely one that we have to come out on top of, and because I didn't set my feet, it was off target, and then Western Michigan would score another touchdown on our defense. It is a shame that it is 14-3 right now, and I'm terrified of taking one of these verticals because I feel like I'm going to throw a pick, but it turned out to be worth the risk, and I'll continue to feed Evan Carter Jr. My coach is going to have to come up with some better plays down here on the goal line though. I don't like this one, and Dalen Maurice is trying his best, but it was all for nothing, so now we're keeping it on the ground, and that didn't work too well either. I think slants on 3rd and goal should work though, and that is going to be picked, so I got baited, and that was not a great way to end that first half. As my career goes on, I'm definitely going to want to throw less and less interceptions. I think I've already thrown 3, so I might be averaging 1 a game, and I'm never going to win a Heisman Trophy doing that. I'm also going to struggle to earn coach trust because every single time I lose like 130, so I'm very disappointed in myself for ending the second quarter in that way, and after getting stopped there, we have the ball back with a few minutes left in the 3rd quarter, and you know what, I'm just going to roll out and find Dalen Maurice with the route bounce where he is able to get open, and I'm not sure if that defender is going to catch him or not, but he's going to make it pretty far down the field. This is my chance to redeem myself. I can't throw another pick down on the goal line, but it's impossible to if I have 0 time to get a throw out, and are you kidding me? I had the easiest touchdown in the world, but that ball was put way too far behind him, and whatever I do, I cannot force it here, but I'd really like a touchdown, so the fact that that ball was dropped stopped really irritates me. My defense did get another stop though, so maybe this is the drive where we tied up, and my coach wants me to let Calvin Gibbs go to work, but he's not doing a very good job of that until this play where he fights for the first. These C routes never seem to work, so I am terrified of taking one on this play, and it's right back to the counter run where Calvin Gibbs gets a couple. This is a pretty massive 3rd and 5 that we have got to pick up, and I'm going to take our running back, but I couldn't throw over my line, so I am just fortunate to have another chance with this much time left, and that was not meant to go to done. It was such an inaccurate throw, so we honestly got bailed out hard, and they've given me 3 straight screen plays in a row. So we got stopped, but our defense got another stop as well, so we have the ball back with 2 minutes left. So this is where I need to go to work, but they're running man-to-man coverage on these C routes, and those always get jumped. Now it's 3rd and 10. Our tight end was open, but if I threw that, there was a chance the linebacker picked it. So it's honestly best if I just scramble instead, and I want to make sure I make the smart read on each play. One of the issues we might run into is we're also going to need to get the 2-point conversion. So I'd like to score sooner rather than later since we still have all 3 of our timeouts, and we honestly might do that right here if I'm able to roll out and find somebody, which I'm going to do at the last second. Wide receiver Jalen Robbins has gotten us into the end zone, and this is honestly a pretty solid 2-point conversion play where our slant is open, but it looks like defensively we just couldn't get a stop and they're going to kick a field goal. I'm not too happy about this result, but it simply took us too long to get things going offensively, so we're going to fall to 4 and 5 this year, and I'm about to go crazy during practice so I can prepare for these final few games. All we have to do is win 2 of them, and I would have led NKU to a bowl. I just found Evan Carter Jr. who slipped off of that tackle, and he's gone. That's the type of stuff I need to see in practice if I'm going to keep getting my coach trust up. And you know what? I'm just going to throw the hot route on Jay Stun Jr. where he almost jumped it, but our defenders just aren't good enough. I am getting very lucky and getting multiple touchdowns I shouldn't, but that's what's going to make this one of my best practices this season as well. And look at Calvin Gibbs going all the way down to the 5. I had no idea that I could perform like this in the rain, but I'm very happy with the amount of XP we earned, and I need to start spending it. I'm also pretty close to becoming a veteran starter, but we need these skill upgrades to actually be good, and I cannot afford first string winner. That would be a lot of XP, but I can do hold the front door while also doing crow hop, which is going to increase my acceleration, and I think I have to do marathon just to increase my injury and stamina, which means I spent a lot, but I'm an 80 overall, and it would be very hard to lose my starting job at this point. Now, we might not have a shot at winning the MAC championship, but we could beat a top 25 team, and Toledo's only lost at Iowa State and Central Michigan, so I'm not shocked that they're favored, and they're one of the highest overall teams we've had to face. This is the hardest game I've ever had to start in because our opponent's a top 25 team, but I would love to upset Toledo here at home in front of our small home crowd, and things have been going pretty well so far, but they boxed up that bubble screen, and I'm going to fumble it in the process. That is not good for my coach trust, but they did go with man-to-man coverage, and I'm just too short to throw a pass, so it was tipped at the line of scrimmage, making this a 3rd and 19. They've gotten in pressure, and we had something that's straight to Bowers. We honestly didn't have anything there. I thought I would just try to force it in there anyway, and because of my stupidity, the Rockets are already up 14-0. I have not looked very impressive in this matchup, and I just have to make the smart read on this one, but I am ready to bounce back and prove that I can step up in this game, and that's a great throw. The issue is Jay Stun II can't hold on to the ball, so at least I'm able to run for this, and on 3rd and 2, we only need a couple of yards, which we're going to get. I'm really not happy with how we started this one, but it's my fault for turning it over so carelessly, and they almost got another pick. We really need them to run man-to-man coverage on 3rd and 13, and that's what they did on Dalen Maurice, but it was marked as a 4th and inches, so we have got to pick this up, and our running back is open in the flat, so I'm not happy with Calvin Gibbs for dropping that one, but after they pinned us at the 1, he's the guy that we have to lean on, and I really don't like when coach calls halfback screens on 3rd down because they just don't work. The next time we'd get the ball, it would also be inside the 5, but my coach is putting the ball in my hands this time, and I'm not sure if that's going to go much better for us, but we do get the first down. I feel like for how bad our offense has been, we're really not that far behind, but surely somebody could have picked up number 9 on this play, and I still have a lot of work to do with Northern Kentucky if I'm ever going to be able to win a championship with the Norse. We are going to get the first down, though. That's a great play, and Dalen Maurice might actually be my favorite wide receiver, but only during games, and if it's not him, it's Evan Carter Jr., our tight end. Surprisingly, we're not out of this one, and I'm going to try to get this to Scott Dallas, but I am not happy with the senior for dropping that one, so it's just right back to Dalen Maurice. He's going to need a breather at some point, though, so he's not out there for this next play, and their man-to-man coverage just stuck like glue. Well, this is a pretty big 3rd and 10, and I'm going to be very risky, but I'm just throwing it straight to Dallas, so I'm glad he was able to reel it in, and we're just a few yards away from the end zone, which means I should be able to take it in myself. That gets it back within 7, but they would score again before the end of the half, and they've given us like 19 seconds to come up with our own points, which means I have to go with the 4 verticals look to Scott Dallas, and that goes inside the red zone. This is exactly what we need. Now I'm going to have to try to thread the needle, but that's probably not the smartest thing to do, because no matter what, we needed to get it back within a possession, and right now it is just just a 7-point game between us and number 22 Toledo. I understand things didn't start in the best way possible, but we're starting to get into a better rhythm offensively. And surprisingly, we have more total yards than them, but I hate taking the C route. And even when we do it the right way, it's not held onto, which is annoying. My best bet with this next play might just be to roll out and take our vertical over here to our tight end because Evan Carter Jr. is wide open. And I know this started as a realistic road to glory, but there's no way I could do any of this in real life. We're getting into the end zone. Our defense would also get another stop on Toledo, which gives me a lot of hope that we can actually pull off this upset. And I feel like my sophomore year is going pretty well, even though we did just lose that one game to Western Michigan, because just the fact that we're competing to potentially play in a bowl game with Northern Kentucky is impressive. Those two plays didn't go that well though, and they're going to stop us on 3rd and 10. So they'd get the ball back and kick a field goal to go up 20-17. Then after that run, I'm going to lay on the ground hurt. So I've had to watch the end of one of the biggest games of the year from the sidelines, and Colton Reynolds just does not cut it. It is 4th and 25. We're not going to pick this up. So in the end, we're going to lose to Toledo, and I cannot believe I got hurt after upgrading my injury and stamina. I could have played a little bit better to start the game, but I feel like we only lost because I got injured, and in order to make a bowl, we have to win these final 2 matchups. That means I need to lock in during these practices so we don't go out there playing bad, but because I haven't upgraded my throw accuracy much, I'm still struggling, and so is our offensive line, so I have to get it out quick. It would be really nice if I could just throw for a touchdown, and that one is put right where it needs to be. So thankfully I have earned some coach trust back, and I'm going to continue with all this momentum. I'm like 100 away from being able to flip some plays, and that's manageable to get into this practice if I don't make any mistakes and continue to make the right throws. With 9 reps left, they've given me the wide receiver screen that goes absolutely nowhere, and by the time I'm seeing a real pass again, there's only 5 reps left. I'm just going to have to scramble on this one, and that'll get us all the way to the red zone. As you can see, I'm getting very close, but we need just a little bit more coach trust, and that's a drop. I swear, those always come at the worst time in this series. They've also gotten in pressure instantly, so I had to run, but we are going to need a deep completion. I know that this can get open versus man-to-man coverage, and I think I had our running back all along, but I decided I was just going to do it myself, so we're going to have to hope that's enough, and that is caught by Dalen Maurice. I think we got it. We're also going to be able to afford 2 upgrades, and there we go. I'm now a veteran starter, but now I want to unlock team captain. This is going to be a little ridiculous, but the only upgrade available is Chick Magnet, so my throw power goes up again, and I have 95 throw power with 79 throw accuracy. I literally started as a 45 overall, and now I feel like I'm in a position where I could carry this team. We can't lose this game, because if we lose one more game this season, we're not going to make a bowl, so we have to take down Bowling Green. It's the first time that I've had to play in the snow, so we will see how that affects me. Dallas is going to get us the first, and with a new set of downs, I'm just going to roll out and scramble for as many yards as I'm able to get. We're wearing the camo jerseys today, so it's kind of hard to see our uniforms, and I'm hoping at some point one of our wide receivers can sneak by them, because that's probably one of the only ways that we pick up this 3rd and 16. I don't want to force it into any windows here, and because I took that sack, we'd get nothing out of that drive. Their man coverage looks like it's sticking like glue, but I am going to break that there. I need our offensive lineman to step up for a little bit of time, and I'm not going to complete the pass. I gotta say, I'm not enjoying playing in the snow so far, but I'm sure I'll figure it out. And it is already 3rd and 10 again, but our corner route was open, so I'm just relieved that our defense has forced a turnover, and I have the ball inside the 30. We're back down to where we were earlier on, but now that it's 3rd and short, we need a better play call than a halfback draw, and my coach thinks it's best if we just take our field goal. I don't think so, considering Bowling Green would get a touchdown after that, but we have the ball again, so it's all good. And this is my time to shine. If I want to make sure that we make a bowl game, it is all on me to step up in these moments. So I better lock in, because how this season ends defines how the rest of my career will go, and I'm hoping to finish this drive off with a touchdown, but I take the sack, so it's going to be a lot harder to do that now, and I literally ran right into that one myself. At 5'9", I struggle to throw over this offensive line, and I'm down again. So approaching halftime, we still only have 3 points, but maybe that can change here. I clearly need to start upgrading throw accuracy instead of throw power, but it looks like Scott Dallas was able to get wide open, and I love whenever coach calls for verticals, because it is so much easier to move the ball, but they were all over it in this situation. I'm going to have to break that tackle and just slide down. It also looks like my coach is dripped out, but I need him to make better decisions than this, because we just ran a halfback draw, and the time is ticking quickly off of the clock. I'm going to have to thread this needle, and he stuck with it. He knew exactly where I wanted to go. I don't know why I made that decision, but I was determined to get points down inside the red zone, and I'm going to have Scott Dallas again. Next year, my main goal is going to be to cut out the interceptions, because I think I'm averaging like 1 a game, but I'm just going to step up because it was man-to-man coverage. I knew this side of the field was wide open, and this needs to be the drive where we finally reach the end zone on them. I'll be ticked if we settle for another field goal. Gibbs gets us the first, and I hate that I'm not able to call hot routes in this situation, because I'd put slants out on the field, but apparently they were offside for that one, and on 2nd down I go nowhere, which has also resulted in me getting hurt. Every time something important happens in this series, I have to watch watch it from the sidelines, which really hurts me, but we did get in, and that was fumbled. You have got to be kidding me. Colton Reynolds just gave it right back to the Falcons, but he'd make up for it on his next drive, and I want to be back out there. With 4 minutes left, I finally am, but it's super dark out there on the field. Where are the lights? And I guess that's what happens when you play in the MAC conference. You can't see who you're throwing to, but it's fine. I'll make the best out of this situation, and on 3rd and 4, I didn't take the halfback screen because I wanted to make sure we picked it up instead. So I'm just glad to see that I didn't get injured because I was able to slide, and it looks like they have me mixing in play action where that is open, and we are going to pick up the first. This has been some pretty terrible conditions, but we're closing in on another touchdown, and I'm just lucky that they didn't pick off that ball. I'm going to go for the deep post, and that was open. Malachi Harris couldn't hang on though, so now it's 3rd and 10, and please tell me we actually catch it, where thankfully Bo James did, and in the end we're going to take down the Falcons. The weather definitely made it tough to get a result, but we still have a chance to make a bowl, and my coach trust is in the negatives, so I have to make sure that I get it back up during this practice, and Scott Dallas is going to open us up in the right way. Honestly, it's a bubble screen play, but I never take the bubble screen here. I always feed it to him, and I'm starting to get into a group where I can just throw laser after laser, so I should have no issues getting the coach trust back to where it needs to be, and I hope I can play this well in our final game of the regular season, because if we want to make a bowl, we're going to have to win that one, and this is a perfect throw over the middle. It's so unfortunate that I still have to deal with drops at this point in the series, but that's going to be expected, and maybe by the time I'm a senior, our receivers will have gotten better to where they no longer struggle to catch the football. I just have to and I'm going to be patient to take this slant, which is held onto. I feel like we are getting closer to being ready for our final game of the year, but then I see stupid stuff like that where I just can't throw over the offensive line, and I just checked my coach trust, which is not looking as good as I thought it was. I am at -32 right now, which means I need 2 big plays back to back, and I am about to drop down a level. I cannot believe it, but that's what's going to happen unless this is a big running play, and it's going to be very close. I'm not able to tell from this screen, but it looks like I'm no longer able to flip the plays, so before I hop into my final game of the year, I'm going to go through one more practice, and Miami, Ohio was really good. This one won't be long because I'm pretty sure I can't exceed 1,000 XP, but if I'm going to take sacks, then I'm going to be in this for a lot longer than I was hoping, and I just have to avoid the pressure consistently. I always instantly roll out, and come on. I'm literally trying to prepare myself for all these blitzes, and I still can't do it. That's a good throw over to Scott Dallas, though, but we have a lot of work to do, and I can't lie, I'm not sure if I'm ready for this game against Ball State. I know I've worked so hard to become the starter, but I feel like it'll be a letdown if we don't make it to a bowl game as well, and all I need is like one more big play at this point. I think this will do it as long as it's held onto, and it is. I can't exceed 1,000 here, so there was no point in playing out the rest of that practice, and this is it. We are taking on Ball State at home, and we're missing that first pass. Everything is on the line today because if we can't come out on top, I am not going to make a bowl during my sophomore year. They're about to get the sack on me. I'm trying to make a play, but instead I just fumbled it away, and on 3rd and 9, I'm taking that wheel route over to my favorite target, but they gave him a haircut while forcing him to drop that football. Our next drive starts inside the 5, which is never a good thing, but my coach is trusting me to not take a safety on this 3rd and 6, and I am not going to pick up this first. It's a defensive stalemate, though, as our defense has gotten us the ball back for another time in this game, so it would be amazing if I could ever complete my first pass, and they are guarding all the hitch routes that I really want to take, so I'm just going to run around instead. This has not been an ideal way to open things up, but with a route bounce, I'm able to find Scott Dallas all the way down to like the 25 or 30, and that might be all it takes to get things going offensively, where now I'm going to take the drag, and I have got to grow during the offseason because he should not have played that football. At least we're able to move the chains, and they are not falling for this halfback screen until maybe late. I've gotten it over to Calvin Gibbs, and he is going to take it all the way. I've never been able to pull something off like that before, but we have the ball back now up by 4, and my confidence is through the roof on this next play. Again, I've been very patient just taking these route bounces, but they played it. Now it's 3rd and 6, so you know coach has to bring out the halfback draw, but we almost got it, and I wish we went for it, but it's all good because we'd get the ball back not even a minute later, where I just pitched it over to Calvin Gibbs, and I've got to give credit to that man for being one of the main reasons that we're winning this game, but I just noticed that I don't have a passing touchdown, which means that my passing touchdown early on to him counted as a run instead and not a pass. I must have tossed it backwards or something, but that's just going to hurt my stat line, and I'm going to check it down to him on this to get us inside the red zone, but I do need to get greedy on this possession if I want to put up some good numbers, and they are dropping everybody back. It's honestly pretty rare for our coach to ever call a running play, which I appreciate, and we have forced a fumble on the kickoff, so we have the ball back inside the red zone again. They're about to get the sack, but it is all good. I wanted to run down as much of the clock as I could anyway, and then laser it over the middle to Jace on the second. Going into the half, it's going to be 21-3, and I feel like things could not be going much better than this for us. I'm going to eventually avoid the pressure that they were about to get in, and then find our tight end down the field extending the play. I'm a little scared of taking a 28-3 lead, but we aren't the Atlanta Falcons. We should be fine, and I feel like things are starting starting to really open up for me, but that is dropped. So now it's 3rd and 10 where I need to take the corner route in order for us to pick this up, and maybe I'll try the hitch, but it's picked off, and Ball State could get right back in it if I'm not able to hit stick this player, and I kind of did. I'm sad about it, but I did knock him out of bounds. And why do I always have to throw at least one interception? I mean, we should still be fine, but it's an 11-point game. And if we actually choke this after I mentioned us being like the Falcons, that'd be so embarrassing. I didn't even see Manley there. I've thrown another interception, and I'm definitely choking for my team. They're also going to break free, and can somebody just bring him down? I'd honestly say I was doing really well in this video compared to some of my other quarterback road to glories. But after those 2 turnovers, I'm going to have to take it back. And we're going into the 4th quarter only up 8. I need to just be smart here. I don't need to take anything deep, but I still do it anyway. And look at that, Dalen Maurice is setting a school record. I have force-fed him the ball that much as our 3rd receiver and slot receiver. So I feel like that's pretty impressive, and we're always going to take that corner route to tight end Evan Carter Jr. I know I've made a couple of mistakes here in the 2nd half, but I am making up for it now. And if that was ruled as a fumble, they would have definitely been gone to the house. Now we're just handing it off, setting up a 3rd and inches where I'm just going to keep the rock, and that'll take us to the 3. For a split second, it looked like we were going to choke this game against Ball State, but now we're closing in on reaching the end zone, and finally we do. Our defense would also stop them, so from here we should be able to run out the rest of the clock with Calvin Gibbs fighting for as many yards as he can get. And you gotta love the fact that we've actually made a bowl. I wasn't sure if it was going to be possible after we fell to 4 and 6, but this is a big moment for my career, and I hope we don't get matched up against somebody that's super difficult. It's also nice to be a veteran starter again, and before I hop into a bowl game, I am going to play a couple of practices just to see how much XP I can earn for our player, as that's a great pass. And this practice has gotten off to a great start, but I'm not going to show many of these plays as I'm able to just dominate. So I could spend this on numerous things, but the only thing I really like in this situation is upgrading our throw power, and I can't believe it's already maxed out at a 99 overall. Once I advance the week, there should be more upgrades available as well. And you might think I'd take this acceleration one, but Suicide Drills upgrades our throw accuracy and our acceleration. Now, I would still like to get Tom Don't Jinx us as well, so it's a good thing there's another practice available, and this will just help us build up our coach trust, which we need since unfortunately we weren't able to make the MAC championship. As for our bowl projection, right now they have us facing off against Wyoming, but there's no telling if that'll stand, and I think we should review our season stats. Obviously, Dalen Maurice was wide receiver 1, and then for myself at quarterback, I threw for almost 2,000 yards while I had 2 touchdowns to every 1 interception. That's not terrible, and I wasn't far behind Calvin Gibbs when it comes to rushing yards, so I'm really happy with the player that I'm becoming, and I just need to get 1,600 XP out of this practice so I can upgrade my acceleration even more. It is such a big deal to be able to escape the pocket, because right now, whenever my offensive line collapses, there's honestly not much I can do about it, but if I fix my acceleration, I can make plays out of it, and that's a good throw. Again, just like the last practice, I feel like at this point in the video, you don't need to see me dot up our defense, so I'll see you all at the end of it where we should be able to get at least 4,000 XP because we're already almost there. With a rep left, you'll see that we are well over 2,000. They got in a blitz on this play, but I've been able to roll out, throw it on the run, and Carter Jr. gets in. That was back-to-back great practices for me, and I know I said that I wanted to take this upgrade, but I think I'm going to risk it, advance the bowl season, and see what else is available. I'm hoping that one day I can be up there in the Heisman race, and there's a few different things I could take, but honestly, I'm not a big fan of any of these. I honestly might just start to save our XP as we go through becoming the team captain, and it turns out that Wyoming's actually ranked. It's time for me to take the field in my first ever bowl game where we're facing off against number 21 Wyoming, but I found Calvin Gibbs for 6 with my first pass, and I cannot believe that we got off to that good of a start, but they're also giving us Maurice, and he is not able to hold on to the ball the same way that our running back was able to. Now, I know the blitz is probably coming on this next play, so I'm going to have the speed to roll out and then find Jay Stun II to get us past midfield, and my confidence is through the roof now that I've been able to upgrade my player to an 89 overall, because I feel like I can make almost any pass in this game, and it'll be interesting to see what I can do at Northern Kentucky in these next 2 seasons. I think things will get easier as I continue to increase my speed, but I can't escape the pocket, and I thought we were about to cruise to an easy 14-0 lead, but that might not be. I have a hard time finding the end zone on this 3rd and 17. I honestly don't want to force it in there, but if I can run for it, that would be incredible, and it's probably best that the field goal unit is out there. I mean, our defense continues to step up, so I have nothing I could complain about. And on 3rd and 5, I'm hoping for man-to-man coverage where Evan Carter Jr. dropped it. That's unfortunate because I can normally rely on him, but our defense got another interception anyway. So with a few minutes left in this first half, we're up 10-0 and we have the ball again, but it is all on Calvin Gibbs to pick up the first for us, and he just goes backwards every time. Eventually, Wyoming was going to score, but at least it's only a field goal, and I'm going to try to make this throw on the run, where my number 1 I can't believe it, but I'm being forced to just hand it off on 3rd and 10. So fortunately, at least we're starting the second half with the ball, and maybe we can get things going again offensively as I spun that defender route. But I would much rather throw it than keep things on the ground, and I have to test out my 99 throw power. I think we have a touchdown here. I saw Maurice run right by everybody. So Dalen Maurice comes up huge for us, and the play action faked them out. Wyoming would get a field goal, but they're still behind by 11 points. And this is about the time where I normally get injured in one of these games.
Oh my god. Oh my god! Oh my gosh!
But I'm hoping that halfback screen got boxed up. We need to pick up this 3rd and 11 where I'm going to try to do it with my legs, test out that new acceleration. And it's clear I need to focus on upgrading my speed, but our defense got another stop, so it's really not going to matter. And going into the 4th, we're up by 11 still. My coach must really love this wide receiver screen play.
Man, you cannot do that on Madden, man.
Scott Dallas picks up the first. He stumbled like 10 yards down the field on that one, and we just continue to move the chains against them. So I have a feeling that we're about to take down a ranked team, and we just need to be smart down inside the red zone where I can take the read option all the way to maybe the end zone if I keep going. I didn't quite have the speed to get the outside edge that I wanted to take, but coach wants me to get a quarterback draw going, and they are going to stop me quick. I was able to flip this toss to the other side of the field, which I thought was cool, but we lost yards. And I don't want to run a halfback screen here, so I might not take it and throw it straight to our tight end, hoping for the best. But that didn't work, so we have to settle for 3-8. And I'm just glad that our defense is going to hold on as this is 4th down, and there's no way that they picked it up. What a performance from them. They're going to be one of the main reasons that we win the Arizona Bowl, and I can't believe I'm already having this much success.
That is bullshit,
but I feel like
bro.
I'm putting Northern
like that's so bull. Like what are we playing around here
for this game? I still got 2 years left to continue to improve my player, but I've definitely already come a very long way, and I've got one final goal in this video overall. Because if you all remember, 2 seasons ago, I started as a 45 overall, and if I can get up to 90 by the end of this final practice, that would mean I've doubled my overall in just 2 years. That's going to go for 6. So I'm going to play through one more, get my XP up as much as I can, and I got to go for some more. It's also the final time that I'm going to throw the ball to Scott Dallas, which makes me very sad, but I'm hopefully going to be able to hit him on his deep post, which I did. And I'm starting to realize that every time I roll out, it gives me a better chance. But there's still a lot of mistakes that I'm making, as that shouldn't have been a pick. And maybe I should just call the season here, because I threw back-to-back ones, and we have enough XP. I'm going to really need to lock in if I want to ever become a team captain and move up the chains even farther. But at least for upgrades, I don't think I want to take it. And I'm just going to hope for one that would boost up my speed. And there was. It was a rarity level 5, but I don't have enough points to actually afford it. And there's no more practices available. So if I would have finished off strong, I would have been able to max out my speed. And I've never seen this upgrade before, but that is insane. Well, I guess it's time to move on to my junior year. And between earning the starting job last season and also performing exceptionally well during practices after the training results boost, my player's up to a 93 overall and my throw power is maxed out. Now, I saw a lot of comments on the last episode saying I needed to upgrade my awareness because apparently my receivers won't drop it as much if I do. So we're going to try to do that this season, and there's been some crazy upgrades available, but I can't afford them. That would have helped me achieve one of my 2 goals in my junior season, which is become a 99 overall, and the other is win the MAC conference, which could actually happen with these preseason projections. Due to hiring some new coordinators, our overall jumped up to an 86, and it might not be the highest overall in the conference, but it sure is close. We're just going to get warmed up in this practice run with a touchdown. And then after we do that, I'm going to hop into our first game of the season against Cincinnati. With 1 rep left, you'll see that I've gotten us over 10,000 total XP, so I'd say it went pretty well as we just found Calvin Gibbs and he came away with it. So I'm curious if there's any good upgrades available. And I thought You Were on Fire or that blue and orange would be perfect, but it's only a 1-game boost. We're going to save up our points and hop into this one. We're playing against the Bearcats is a pretty big deal because they're just 10 minutes away from our college across the Ohio River, and I've already been able to find junior tight end Evan Carter Jr. for a nice game. One thing I'm going to try to do more this season is take my check down since Will told me to. But because I did, this drive has stalled out and the halfback draw doesn't work. Our defense would get us the ball back pretty quickly though, and there's not many people open. So now we find ourselves on a 2nd and 10 where I'm just going to have to try and escape. That defense ain't playing nothing, bro. I'm trying to be very careful with my reads because I don't want to throw many interceptions this year, but so far what I've been doing hasn't worked, so maybe I need to start forcing it deeper down the field. Here on 2nd and inches, we're going to let Malachi Harris take this jet sweep where he is going to get us the first, and Dalen Maurice is going to be on the end of this wide receiver screen, but he doesn't get much. My hope is during the offseason he was able to fix his drop issue. I'm about to take a sack, and with play calling like this, we're about to have our 3rd drive stalled out, which is not good. It was a pretty rough first quarter, but maybe we can open up the second in the best of ways because I wanted to take that up the seam and I was not able able to do so, but we're going to go with the deep post, and that is brought in by Dalen Maurice. I'm telling you all, whenever I start taking those deep passes, I play 10 times better, and that's a touchdown. So things are looking solid so far, but Cincinnati would respond back by getting onto the board for the first time, and that's going to be brought in. Now we're going to have a read option play where I get to keep it on the ground, but I'm still not the quickest, so I don't get much. And here on 3rd and 3, it's not going to go for the first. I should be happy that we're going for it here, but it's not going to be in my hands, and Jay Stun the second still picked it up. If we could just finish this drive off to end the first half, we would be in a great position. I'm going to find our tight end over the middle, but I think no matter what, we're going to give Cincinnati a ton of time to respond, and for whatever reason, my head coach keeps calling timeouts, but it's all good. We should have Evan Carter Jr. here, and with our tight end bringing it in, it is 14-3. Our defense would get a stop as well, so Northern Kentucky could be pretty good this season, but if I turn the ball over like that, maybe not, and I always make one bad read a game. Up to that point, I was playing almost perfectly, so I am pretty upset with myself. Now they're getting in pressure, and I'm going to get it to Dalen, but he drops the pass, and I am terrified of taking this route on this play after I threw an interception there. Heisman mode always finds a way to humble you when you start doing really well, and Cincinnati opened up the third quarter by scoring a touchdown, so now we find ourselves trailing by 3 to the Bearcats. It's my fault that they were able to get back into it, so now I have to lead us down this field, and here on 2nd and 12, it looks like they are not going to bite down at the drag, so we're just going to take it. I really need to get some more coach trust though, so I can change up the play call whenever I don't like it, because now it's 4th and 1, we have to hand this off, and thankfully Calvin Gibbs is able to pick it up. I was not sure if our offensive line was actually going to hold there, but they must have improved a decent bit during the offseason, and the backup running back goes nowhere. This 3rd and 2 play call also isn't the best, but it did end up working, so the drive has continued to stay alive, and if this is man-to-man coverage, none of these routes are going to be open, so I'm just going to have to take off and do it all myself. We are closing in on reaching the end zone. I can't make any stupid reads in this situation though, so I'm going to take off, and are you kidding me? I just lost the football, and if we don't get a stop on 3rd and 12, we're in trouble. But thankfully our defense did, so we are not out of it yet, and we just need one solid drive with a game-winning touchdown to end this game and get the win. It would be a huge result for Northern Kentucky since we weren't expected to come out on top of this one. I made a great throw on the run over to Calvin Gibbs, and I'm starting to want to escape the pocket quicker because I'm not sure how long our offensive line can hold for, but once again, Dalen Maurice is going to let me down, and on 3rd and 11, I'm hoping for man-to-man coverage where Malachi Harris brings it in. How our season starts all comes down to this drive, and the only reason we're even in this situation is because I put us here. I didn't have a good half, so I was hoping for a better play call on 3rd and 5. The halfback screen might not get it for us, and it's not going to. This is literally it. Here on 4th down, we're going to take our hitch, and we pick it up, but I was terrified of doing that there, and they get the instant sack. That's going to make it 2nd and 17. There wasn't much I could do about it, but we're going to get a lot of it back, and I'm hoping we can hit Malachi Harris up the seam where he's going to break the press and take it into the end zone. Now it is simply on our defense to hold the Bearcats, but with that completion, they've already gotten to the 40-yard line, and this is going to take them to midfield. They still have all 3 of their timeouts as well, so I'm afraid we're in a lot of trouble. That's going to be caught by Jackson, and we need them to score super quick because they're definitely already in field goal range. It's unfortunate, but now they're just being smart, trying to run out the rest of the clock, and they wouldn't get the 2-point conversion, but there's only 13 seconds on the clock. I'm going to use my 99 throw power to go deep, and Malachi Harris catches it. We have one final shot at reaching the end zone, and I just have to hope for the best here. We're going to go over to our tight end, and that is going to be picked off. We are not going to get the win at Cincinnati, and our fans are not happy about it, but I think we proved that we can put up a good fight with every team in the MAC this season, and my stat line looks really good until you see it from this perspective where the 2 interceptions really sticks out. Now, before we take on our in-state rivals and my favorite team, I think it's important that I try to get myself some more coach trust. So that's what I'm going to do here in practice, which is out in the rain, and I just got to complete it to Dalen Maurice. However, things would not go as well as I was hoping they would, and because of an interception I threw, I gained almost no coach trust. I did get us up to 14,000 XP though, and I'm just waiting for some better skill upgrades because I don't think either of those are worth it. It's time to play against my favorite team for the first time on the road at Kroger Field versus the Wildcats, where I'm completing that pass, but they've already scored a touchdown and then missed the extra point because of the weather, so this could be a long game. And on 2nd and 10, they just want me to hand it off to Calvin Gibbs, who picks up the first. Now that he's a junior, he is starting to get a little bit better, so that's a good sign of what's to come in the future. Our corner route didn't get open on this play, and I waited too long to try and roll out, so we have to pick this up, and we don't. Fortunately, our defense would hold the Wildcats, so we have it back down by 6, and this first quarter's already flown by, where we have to figure out a way to pick up this 3rd and 11, and that window is going to work. I wasn't sure if Dalen Maurice would hold on to that ball or not, but I'm very glad he did, and Evan Carter Jr. has come away with this one, so all of a sudden we find ourselves down on the Wildcats' 25-yard line, and I just have to make the smart read. I get very nervous whenever I can sense that they're sending pressure pressure, but I had plenty of time back there. And now my hope is that we're able to reach the end zone if our C route gets open, and it does, but it's dropped. Dalen Maurice is going to drive me crazy, and nobody got open versus their man-to-man coverage, so I had to take it on the ground, but it worked. And using my legs, we're going to take a 1-point lead on Kentucky. It wouldn't last as they responded back, but I'm just happy that we're able to compete with my Wildcats, and I think that's a good sign that we're going to do very well in MAC conference play. I'm going to try to bomb them deep here, and that's a great throw. Dalen Maurice actually caught the ball, which I was not expecting, but they have scored again, leaving me 31 seconds left in this first half where I almost threw a pick. That is the exact reason why I don't like to take that seam route up the middle, and on 3rd and 10, I'm probably not going to do it as they've just sent in a blitz, and we're going to take it to the half. It's a good thing that we get the ball to start the second as well, where Malachi Harris got tripped up. And now on 2nd and 6, I'm just going to wait in the pocket to see if something gets open, but I'm going to have to use my legs instead.
Excuse me, can I get this?
ไม่ได้ไม่ได้กินกันมันเผ็ดเกินไปสำหรับคุณ
Try me.
Oh man, I thought I got a fight of them, man. I thought I got a fight of them for a minute, man.
Despierta con unas deliciosas O's y el sabor de miel de verdad. Para las grandes sonrisas, las pequeñas sonrisas y para las sonrisas de toda la familia.
I hate this game.
Cheerios.
I don't like that I have to hand it off on 3rd down, but Calvin Gibbs gets it. And it is remarkable that our coach just doesn't feed him the ball. He only has 2 rushes in this game. We might have another deep play, and that's put perfectly on the money. We are really starting to work it down the field on Kentucky. I got a couple of good blocks on